চাৰ্জশ্বিটত ইতিমধ্যে কোৰ্টৰ ওচৰত দাখিল কৰিছোঁ।
আৰু এটা কেছ আছিল 19/2005 তাত কিমানখিনি আগবাঢ়িছে তেতিয়ালৈকে?
19/2005টো এটা বেলেগ বিষয়ৰ ওপৰত ৰুজু কৰা হৈছিল, সেইটো তদন্ত এতিয়া চলি আছে।
ছিংগাপুৰৰ ইয়ট পাৰ্টিত যিসকল আছিল সেইসকলৰ বিৰুদ্ধে মানে
যিসকলৰ বিৰুদ্ধে চাৰ্জশ্বিট আছে।
In fact, what you see right now on your screens, this a dramatic chase that is taking place right now, and we're getting in some more details. This is from Navsari, where this chase is taking place. In fact, it seems what you see right now, this isn't from any movie. It's a reality where you would see right now on your screens. You have a live encounter between criminals and the police taking place. This is in Navsari, where a liquor smuggler was trying to run away, absconding in his car, which is basically full of liquor bottles. There you see the vehicle that is going in, which was being chased by the local police there. Liquor mafia present in the car that you can see on your screens. I believe this white car that you see, a white Creta car in which the criminal was present and was on his, he was fleeing, and that's where you see it bangs into another vehicle, tries to run away, and followed by it is the police vehicle that you see. The Scorpio that you see right now is where the police was. Clearly, in fact, this is a crackdown that is being carried out by the Gujarat police, particularly keeping in mind that Gujarat as a state is a dry state where there have been reports essentially coming in of the illegal sale of liquor. Here in Navsari, it seems that they were able to, following a tip-off that had basically come in of the movement of a liquor mafia. Once the police basically acted on the tip-off, and we've been told that he was spotted in the vehicle, and they suspected that he was also carrying along with him liquor bottles. It seems immediately thereafter he fled from the spot. This is an angle that we have just got from our local reporters there of the movement actually taking place, the chase of the liquor mafia. And you have the Gujarat police basically moving immediately thereafter. Shifting focus now to the other story that we are getting to you right now. This will also get you more details from Navsari from now. There's been a major infiltration plot along the Indo-Pakistan international border, where the BSF has arrested a suspected terrorist. BSF achieved a major success during a 2-day-long operation. The arrested suspect was planning to facilitate the infiltration of a large Jaish-e-Mohammed group into India. The arrest was made along the international border in the Pragwal sector of Jammu district. Now, there is also suspicion that the arrested suspect was carrying China-made weapon. BSF launched a large-scale search operation in the Pragwal area. We'll try and see if we can go across to our reporters. And there are also some images coming in. Let me bring in my colleague Gursimran, who's joining us on this broadcast. Gursimran, what more details are you picking up?
Shawan, right now we are outside the Pragwal police post where this suspected terrorist is being handed over to the Jammu and Kashmir police. I'll request Ashu to first show you the visuals that the senior officials of the border security force, they have arrived here at the police post Pragwal. We have spoken to the senior officials in the BSF and Jammu and Kashmir police, and they have confirmed to us that the arrest of this suspected terrorist has taken place along with the Chinese weapon. I'll request Ashu to show you from this side that the ambulance of the BSF that has been that came along with this suspected terrorist, and now he has been handed over to the Jammu and Kashmir police. I'll request Ashu to keep showing you the visuals that the senior officials of the BSF, they have also arrived. Here you will see the senior officials of the BSF along with the Jammu and Kashmir police. They have also arrived here, and now they are interacting with the formalities are being performed. Because what has happened that what we are being told that there were apprehensions with the agencies that Pakistan is trying to actually push back those terrorists that have gone to Pakistan at a time of 90s, 2000 and 2010 or even 2020. They have been trained there and now they are being pulled back into the Indian territory. Reason being that Pakistan wants, since they are well aware of the geography of the area, they want more groups to infiltrate with the active guidance of these terrorists. So now you will see that in this ambulance we are told that this suspected terrorist has been brought here in the Pragwal international border, and now the officials, they have been handed now questioning him. First the questioning was done by Central Intelligence Agencies and the BSF, and now Jammu and Kashmir Police will take custody and also an FIR will be registered. We are told that he is carrying a Chinese-made weapon, though the weapon that he has with him is being said to be AK series, but it was a Chinese-made weapon that has been recovered from his possession. So now more details will be divulged in the later part of the day. That is what we are getting to know. But for now, we can confirm that a suspected terrorist has been arrested, and he was in a bid to sneak in a large group of Jaish-e-Mohammed into the Indian territory. But due to the alertness and the 2-day-long operation that has taken place, this arrest has been made and also the recovery of the weapon. Important to mention that it was last week only, Shawan, that we have seen that there was a statement that was made by the IGBSF Jammu Frontier that the active launch pads that were demolished during Operation Sindoor in the Indian strikes, that was the preemptive strikes also and the other strikes that were carried out in retaliation to the Pakistani provocation, those launch pads have become active again. A total number was given of 72, 12 along the international border and 60 along the line of control. So it seems that another desperate attempt was being made from across the border, but now that attempt has been foiled, and these visuals that you see are from the Pragwal border outpost where the officials from the Jammu and Kashmir Police as well as the officials from the Border Security Force, they all are here. Now the handing over of the suspected terrorist to the Jammu and Kashmir Police has been done by the authorities. Yes.
One final question before I let you go, Gursimran, with regards to the arrest that was made following a tip-off that was received by the Jammu and Kashmir Police. Any details you're picking up in terms of fresh attempts that are now being made by Jaish-e-Mohammed as well as Lashkar-e-Toiba to carry out such infiltration attempts just before the winter sets in?
Yes, desperate attempts are being made. We have seen that earlier also there were multiple attempts, and now also the similar input suggests that there are desperate attempts that are being made by. This also seems to be part of a larger planning of the Pakistani terror groups to push terrorists into the Indian territory. But now what has happened that this suspected terrorist who was considered to be kingpin, he has now been arrested, and now as we speak the interrogation is underway and they are trying to look into every possible angle that who he was in touch with, because there is another suspicion that is being worked upon, Shawan, that is that he might be one of those who has gone missing from the Rajouri in 2021, and the same person has been apprehended because it is believed that he exfiltrated in 2021 to Pakistan and now has once again been apprehended. But now as we speak, the security forces are questioning his whereabouts, and more details are likely to emerge as the J&K police will carry out the further investigation.
Thank you very much, Gursimran, for getting us the latest details. We'll keep a close watch on it. Shifting focus now to the action that has been taken against Indigo. In fact, it seems that the Indigo board has basically appointed an external aviation expert to carry out an analysis, what they're calling it root cause analysis of the flight disruptions. This also comes at a time when the Ministry of Civil Aviation has also taken action against 4 officers of the DGCA. They have been asked to immediately leave the DGC and go back to their parent cadre. Let me go across to my colleague Shambhavi, who is getting us the latest details. Shambhavi, it seems Indigo is on a damage control mode. What more details are you picking up in terms of the action that has been taken so far?
There has been 2 things which has been going on parallelly in this story, where once the DGC has already formed a 4-member panel which will be investigating the root cause of this entire Indigo crisis in detail. Apart from this, now this is a new update that Indigo has also appointed an external aviation expert to figure out what was the root cause, although Indigo has been largely maintaining that the main reason behind this entire Indigo fiasco was the issue with the rostering system of the company. when they failed to comply with the phase 2 of the FDTL rules. But now two parallel investigation will be going on. One will be by Indigo's newly appointed external aviation expert, and the another one is the one which is going on by the DGCA's appointed 4-member panel who will be responsible for investigating the root cause of this entire Indigo crisis. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Shambhavi, for getting us the latest details. The DGCA and the Ministry of External Affairs, Civil Aviation has also put a team at the Indigo's office. Let me now also take you through some more details emerging on the other stories coming in. Madurai High Court has granted permission for Hindus to fast and do a silent protest for 2 days. Deepam Rao reaches Parliament. BJP calls it an anti-Hindu move by the opposition.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
In the India Today Best Universities Survey, India's #1 ranked universities in various streams are JNU Delhi, Amity University, AIMS Delhi, IIT Delhi, and National Law School Bengaluru.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात।
वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है।
अरे मेरे राजा,
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
भाई मेरा बेटी को प्यार चाहिए, मेरा बेटी का ब्लड आ रहा है, नीचे से ब्लड। MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरी डे।
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Good evening. Welcome to Republic. I'm Rhythm, and our top focus is going to be on the Deepam Rao and how it's engulfing everybody after that impeachment case and that row that has started, more than 50 members of the judiciary have moved an open letter supporting Justice Swaminathan of the Madras High Court, calling this move by parliamentarians very dangerous, because now not only are members of a certain Indi opposition bloc opposing certain judicial members, but this is a direct threat to the independence of the judiciary. If every order that is passed is against them, they will say it's bias, they will say that the judge is motivated, but it's actually them who are motivated, and therefore they're trying to do an impeachment motion against a judge of the Madras High Court. A very dangerous trend that is now coming out in the judiciary and the parliament. First, a look at our top headlines. Madurai High Court grants permission for Hindus to fast and do a silent protest for 2 days.
The Madurai bench of Madras High Court came down strongly on the Tamil Nadu government, accusing officials of deliberately ignoring its order on lighting the Gardigai Deepam lamp at the Madurais. There are lathis for the devotees. Hindus are lathi charged. Despite the court order, they are not allowed.
Now the Deepam row reaches Parliament. BJP calls it an anti-Hindu move by opposition. As the opposition moves impeachment motion against Justice Swaminathan, 56 judges write a letter backing the Madras High Court judge. Assam cops submit charge sheet in the Zubeen Garg death case. MOSMEA says issues of detention of the Indian citizen has been taken up strongly with the Chinese side in both New Delhi and Beijing. Our top focus, Zubeen Garg's cousin and suspended police officer Sandeepan Garg have been charged with culpable homicide not amounting to murder in the SIT charge sheet. We're getting to know details about the SIT charge sheet that has been filed. The SIT has filed its charge sheet in the Zubeen Garg death case. Assam police officer Sandeepan Garg has also been arrested. I'm going to try and go across to Anirudh to get more details of the SIT's charge sheet that has now been filed. Remember, Himanto Biswa Sarma, Assam Chief Minister, has also spoken out after this charge sheet has been filed. Anirudh, can you give us more details as the Assam SIT has filed its charge sheet?
Yes, Ridham. In fact, Republic TV has accessed the full details of the charges and the sections of the BNS under which the main accused as well as the co-accused in this Zubeen Garg death probe has been searched. And as per the details of the search sheet that we have accessed, for Siddharth Sharma, section 3, subsection 6, subsection 7 and subsection 8, that is common knowledge, intention and cooperation. Section 61, subsection 2, criminal conspiracy, section 103, subsection 1, murder, and section 316, subsections 5, criminal breach of trust has been slapped. Against Syamkanu Mohanto also the similar charges have been slapped. Additional charges that has been slapped to Syamkana Mohanto. This include section 308 subsection 2 of the BNS, that is extortion, and section 318 subsection 4 of the BNS, that is cheating, and section 238 of the BNS, that is destruction of evidence, has been slapped. Similarly, against Arnab Goswami also, section 3, subsection 6, 7 and 8 has been slapped. Section 61, subsection 2 and also 103, subsection 1 and criminal breach of trust, that is section 316, subsection 5 has been slapped. Against Amrit Prabha Mahanta, also similar charges have been slapped along with section 238 of the
All right,
BNS, that
so
is destruction of evidence. And as you
Anirudh,
have
we're
mentioned,
getting to know details about sections under which this charge sheet has been filed. The Assam police officer Zubeen Garg is also being charged. Let's also take a look and get reactions. The Assam chief minister has also spoken on this charge sheet. Listen in.
लोगों को हत्या की गुस्सर में हम लोग अभियुक्त किया हो। अभी आगे जाके न्यायालय में ये जो कानून का रास्ता से अभी आगे चलेगा। कोर्ट का ऊपर सब लोगों का सम्मान है। कोर्ट जो भी करे हम लोग कोर्ट का ऊपर हमेशा आस्था रखें।
All right, there is more breaking news that's coming in, but for now, the big news: Assam police officer Zubeen Garg also charged in the charge sheet filed by the SIT in the Zubeen Garg case. And breaking news coming in: the BMC conducted surprise joint inspection of 4-star hotel in Andheri, Mumbai, following the deadly Goa fire incident. The inspection was aimed to ensure the hotel's safety measures were in place to prevent a similar incident. The hotel management was caught off guard, and officials accompanied them to every location that visited during the inspection. This was Mumbai's surprise inspections by the BMC. Hotel was raided over the safety concerns, and Mumbai hotel raided over fire safety concerns. The pictures on the screen are evident as this raid is happening of a 4-star hotel in Andheri in Mumbai following the deadly Goa fire incident. This inspection was aimed to ensure the hotel safety measures. Let's listen into what my colleague Satya Prakash reporting on this has stated.
मुंबई में बीएमसी कर्मचारी एक्शन में है और बीएमसी के फायर ब्रिगेड की टीम और बीएमसी कर्मचारी होटल के अंदर पहुंचे हुए हैं। यहाँ पे औचक निरीक्षण कर रहे हैं, फायर सेफ्टी का देख रहे हैं। मैं तस्वीरें दिखा रहा हूँ होटल के अंदर किस तरह से यहाँ पे बीएमसी कर्मचारी और फायर ब्रिगेड डिपार्टमेंट के लोग पहुंचे हुए हैं। आप लोग क्या देख रहे हैं होटल के अंदर, क्या जाँच कर रहे हैं?
होटल के अंदर जो फायर फाइटिंग सिस्टम लगा हुआ है वो वर्किंग कंडीशन में है या नहीं है वो हम यहाँ पे चेक कर रहे हैं। वैसे जो होटल के एंट्री एग्जिट पॉइंट्स है वो ब्लॉक है या ओपन है, अनऑब्स्ट्रक्टेड है, वो चेक कर रहे हैं।
जिस तरह से गोवा में अग्निकांड हुआ, कहीं कहीं उसके बाद एक्शन में आए।
गोवा का जो अग्निकांड हुआ उसके बाद यहाँ पे कुछ ऐसा हादसा ना हो उसके लिए बीएमसी की तरफ से ये पूरा 31 तक इंस्पेक्शन ड्राइव चल रहा है हर एक वार्ड में।
अच्छा, क्या मिला अभी तक आपको यहाँ पे?
अभी चेक कर रहे हैं जिस मतलब जहाँ पे फायर सेफ्टी नॉर्म्स सब ठीक तरह से, उनको तो कुछ नहीं, लेकिन जहाँ पे अगर कुछ इशू आते हैं तो उनको वो हिसाब से नोटिस वगैरह दिया जा रहा है।
ये देख सकते हैं बीएमसी का ऑफिसर है, आपने यहाँ पे देखा, जांच किया, क्या मिला आपको?
नहीं, अभी तो जांच चालू है।
फेज 1 जैसा आपको बताया, फेज 1 में फोकस रहेगा हाउस होल्ड्स के अंदर क्या एमिनिटीज हैं, हाउसिंग कंडीशन कैसी है, कच्चा घर है, पक्का घर है, घर में कितने रूम्स हैं, किस तरह से घर में कोई व्हीकल है, घर में इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कनेक्शन कैसा है, वो सब चीजें फर्स्ट फेज में की जाएगी। एंड दैट विल बी दी बेस फॉर फेज 2, जिसमें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है डेमोग्राफिक, सोशियो कल्चरल एंड इकोनॉमिक पैरामीटर्स का इन्यूमरेशन किया जाएगा पूरी जनसंख्या का। एज, जेंडर, एजुकेशनल स्टेटस, रिलीजन, मदर टंग, कौन सी लैंग्वेजेस बोलते हैं, डिसेबिलिटी है कोई, सोशल स्टेटस क्या है, एंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंटली कास्ट का इन्यूमरेशन भी इसमें सेंसस में होगा। माइग्रेशन हुआ है घर से, फर्टिलिटी, ऑक्यूपेशन, हर चीज का, हर बेसिक पैरामीटर का इसमें इन्यूमरेशन किया जाएगा। ये फरवरी 2027 के हिसाब से किया जाएगा, भारत के कानूनों के हिसाब से, भारत के संविधान की जो व्यवस्था है उसके हिसाब से किया जाएगा। रिविजनल राउंड इसका 1 से 5 मार्च। कभी कोई एरर रह जाता है तो somebody would like to make a केस की मेरा गलत मैंने कह दिया था, तो उसका एक रिविजनल राउंड होता है। स्नो बाउंड एरियाज में सितंबर 2026 में फेज 2 किया जाएगा। ये सेंसस अपने आप में एक अनूठा सेंसस होगा। दिस विल बी अ वेरी यूनिक वे ऑफ डूइंग सेंसस बिकॉज देश में इन 11 वर्षों में एक डिजिटल क्रांति आई है. डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजीज आर पार्ट ऑफ आवर लाइफ टुडे. हर एक व्यक्ति के जीवन में डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजीज का आज उपयोग है, चाहे पेमेंट हो, चाहे डिजी लॉकर हो, हर तरीके से डिजिटल व्यवस्थाओं का देश में उपयोग हो रहा है. दिस विल बिकम द फर्स्ट एवर डिजिटल सेंसस. फर्स्ट एवर डिजिटल सेंसस में मैसिव एक्सरसाइज की गई है और सबसे बड़ी बात है कि पर्सनल डेटा प्रोटेक्शन का जो कानून बना है, डीपीडीपी, डिजिटल पर्सनल डेटा प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट, उसके तहत जितने प्रोटेक्शंस और जो राइट्स सिटीजन्स को दी गई है उनका इसमें ध्यान रखा गया है. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है ये फैक्टर. उनका ध्यान रख के सेंसस को कंप्लीट इसका डिजिटल डिजाइन किया गया है. सेंसस मॉनिटरिंग एंड मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम का एक प्रॉपर पोर्टल होगा विच विल बी अवेलेबल ऑन दी मोबाइल फोन ऑल्सो, क्योंकि इसमें सेल्फ इन्यूमरेशन की भी व्यवस्था है. जियो टैगिंग, हाउस लिस्टिंग के लिए, डिमार्केशन के लिए प्रॉपर लैंडमार्क का नोटिफिकेशन, लैंडमार्क को डिजिटली मेजर करना बहुत ही एक प्रॉपर वे में किया जाएगा और बहुत अच्छे स्ट्रॉन्ग रोबस्ट सिक्योरिटी फीचर्स, जैसा आपको बताया, डिजिटल पर्सनल डेटा प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट के तहत इसमें किए जाएंगे. और कास्ट इन्यूमरेशन का ऑलरेडी कैबिनेट कमेटी ऑन पॉलिटिकल अफेयर्स ने कुछ महीनों पहले इसका फैसला लिया था. आप सबकी जानकारी में है ये. सेल्फ इन्यूमरेशन का भी एक ऑप्शन रहेगा. पोर्टल के थ्रू सेल्फ इन्यूमरेशन का भी इसमें ऑप्शन रहेगा. मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट, सेंसस का डेटा कई तरह की प्लानिंग में काम में आता है. तो इस पूरी प्लानिंग एक्सरसाइज में सेंसस एज अ सर्विस किसी भी डिपार्टमेंट को, किसी भी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को जो अपनी प्लानिंग के लिए, योजनाएं बनाने के लिए, स्कीम्स के लिए और एक फ्यूचर की रोड मैप बनाने के लिए जो इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए होती है, वो सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन सेंसस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन विल बी एबल टू गिव सेंसस एज अ सर्विस बिकॉज ऑफ द वे इट इज डन डिजिटली. ये डिजिटल सेंसस का एक बहुत बड़ा एडवांटेज होगा बिकॉज कई वर्षों तक इसका बेनिफिट मिलता रहे, वो फैसिलिटी इसमें अवेलेबल होगी. करीब 30 लाख फील्ड फंक्शनरीज इसमें काम करेंगे, विच मीन्स अबाउट 1 करोड़ ह्यूमन डेज का इसमें एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेट होगा. और बहुत मैसिव एक्सरसाइज है. अवेयरनेस क्रिएट की जाएगी, लास्ट माइल एंगेजमेंट, कैसे फील्ड ऑपरेशंस में स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के साथ मिलकर इन्यूमरेटर्स को हमें रिक्रूट करना है, वो सब चीजें इसमें सेंसस में की जाएगी. साथियों, ये बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट एक्सरसाइज है देश के डेमोक्रेसी के लिए, देश की संवैधानिक व्यवस्था के लिए. इसीलिए इस पे बहुत फोकस किया गया है. हर तरीके से रोबस्टनेस, हर तरीके से डिजिटल पर्सनल डेटा प्रोटेक्शन के तहत और एक डिजिटल माध्यम से एक प्रॉपर इसकी डिटेल एक्सरसाइज की गई है. सेकेंड आज का बड़ा फैसला है वो है कोल सेतु. आप सब जानते हैं एनर्जी सिक्योरिटी में देश ने बहुत बड़े फैसले लिए माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में, और भारत अब कोल के प्रोडक्शन में ऑलरेडी आत्मनिर्भरता की तरफ बढ़ रहा है. हिस्टोरिक प्रोडक्शन हुआ है 24-25 फाइनेंशियल ईयर में 1 बिलियन टन से ज़्यादा कोल का प्रोडक्शन हुआ है. और अब एक तरीके से इंपोर्ट पे जो पहले डिपेंडेंस होती थी, वो डिपेंडेंस करीब करीब बहुत कम हो गई है. नाउ वी आर सेविंग अबाउट 60,000 करोड़ रुपीज ऑन फॉरेक्स because of the reduced dependence on imported coal. ये बहुत important.
Cabinet briefing there by Ashwini Vaishnav, where he says India's 2027 census is to go digital. Now, viewers, the other top focus, India and the US are progressing steadily in trade talks, focusing on building trust rather than rushing deals. Recent high-level visits and discussions highlight their commitment to a balanced economic partnership despite ongoing challenges. US President Donald Trump's criticism of India's rice exports added tension, but both sides continue cautious diplomacy. Union Minister Piyush Goyal on Thursday also stressed that trade is about strong relationships aimed for sustainable long-term cooperation. Here's that report.
I'm not aware of the basis of the CEA's comments. I can only say that negotiations are progressing well. In the past, I think 5 rounds have happened. We had very good substantive discussions that a deal is only done when both sides stand to benefit. We should ever negotiate with deadlines or hard stops. I do believe that if they are very happy, they should be signing on the dotted line.
Period till March, sir.
I'm not aware of the basis of the CA's comments. You'll have to probably refer that to the CA. I can only say that negotiations are progressing well. We've had substantive discussions over several rounds of negotiations. In the past, I think 5 rounds have happened. The current visit is not a negotiating round. Current visit is a new deputy USTR who has joined about 3 months ago. It's his first visit to India. We're getting to know each other. He's at the Commerce Secretary level, Vice Minister, so they're all getting to know each other well. He met me also. We had very good substantive discussions. But I've often said on record that a deal is only done when both sides stand to benefit. And I don't think we should ever negotiate with deadlines or hard stops because you tend to make mistakes then.
Just one addition to that question. The US is saying that they've got the best deal yet. Have we offered them anything that they are so happy about?
Well, that only the USTR can answer. His happiness is very much welcome. And I do believe that if they are very happy, they should be signing on the dotted line.
All this momentum in talks comes days after U.S. President Donald Trump criticized India's rice exports. He questioned, why is India allowed to do that, dumping rice into the U.S.? They have to pay tariffs. Do they have an exemption on rice? These remarks have added a new layer of tension to the ongoing trade discussions.
That countries are dumping rice into this country today. We've never seen imports this great.
Which countries?
India, Thailand, even China into Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico used to be one of the largest markets for U.S. rice. We haven't shipped rice into Puerto Rico in years. So this has been happening for years. This didn't start during your administration, but unfortunately, we're seeing it in a much bigger way now. The tariffs are working. But we need to double down because
you want more. I mean,
well, they're cheating, right? They're they're just subsidizing and then
India. Tell me about India. Why is India allowed to do that? They have to pay tariffs. Do they have an exemption on rice?
No, sir. We're still working on their trade deal. So
yeah, but they should be dumping. I mean, I heard that from others. So you can't do that.
Trade deals are for a longer duration. Trade deals are not only about tariffs, it's not only about access of goods or services, it's also about trust, it's also about relationships. Yeah. It's a demonstration to businesses that you can work with between both countries and trust businesses to prosper, businesses to be protected, businesses to get opportunities and a fair deal in the rule of law in democracies that we all work in. So I think trade deals in a longer context have far more than just tariffs.
As India and the U.S. navigate their trade relations, the road ahead remains risky but full of potential. Recently, Prime Minister Modi spoke with President Trump, signaling ongoing high-level interest in strengthening ties. Both sides emphasize mutual trust and balanced gains, choosing cautious diplomacy over rushed deals, aiming to build a stronger and sustainable economic partnership for the future.
Breaking news coming in. We're getting a big update that's coming in the Red Fort blast case, where the accused are being brought to the Patiala House Court. They are currently being taken for their case hearing to the Patiala House Court. We can see those exclusive visuals that have been captured on our cameras, where all the accused have been brought in NI custody, where the NI had arrested even 4 accused more in the Red Fort blast case. They have been brought to the Patiala House Court as we are speaking. Major revelations earlier had been made. There had been significant breakthroughs that had been achieved by seeing and analyzing the phone of the arrested terrorists who are on the screen, including Muzammil, Adil, Shaheen and Irfan, all of them who have now been brought to the Patiala House Court, as we can see on your screens. Remember, these 4 had, as per their sources, they had certain significant breakthroughs. Their phones had recordings of speeches by Masood Azhar, the Jaish chief, and other Jaish commanders. The contents on their phones also related to terror training and bomb making. For their court hearing, they are now brought in safety, in protection to the Patiala House Court. And remember, these videos have also been found on these 4 mobiles that had details on terrorist training, bomb-making techniques, chemical reactions, revealing the deep level of research and operation planning that had gone into this. The phones contained videos of religious sites and crowded markets in the capital, Uttar Pradesh, Mumbai and other states. Cross-border terror links had also been established of accused Muzammil and Umar. They met Syrian ISIS terrorist commanders in Turkey, it was alleged. The NI had earlier secured 10-day custody of the 4 accused in the Delhi blast case. They have been brought to the special NI court at the Patiala House Court that had granted the NI 10-day custody earlier. These are the 4 key accused in the deadly November 10 car blast outside Delhi's Red Fort. And the BMC conducted a surprise joint inspection of a 4-star hotel in Andheri, Mumbai, following the deadly Goa fire incident. The inspection aimed to ensure the hotel's safety measures were in place to prevent a similar incident. The hotel management was caught off guard, and officials accompanied them to every location visited during the inspection. Remember, this is a Goa fire fallout. The BMC is checking Mumbai hotels and raiding them over fire safety concerns. It's a surprise hotel inspection that's taken place at Andheri in Mumbai. The inspection is amid Goa fire tragedy, and the hotel management was caught off guard. Let me also go across through a report that my colleague Satya Prakash has filed from there.
कहीं कहीं मुंबई में बीएमसी कर्मचारी एक्शन में है और बीएमसी के फायर ब्रिगेड की टीम और बीएमसी कर्मचारी होटल के अंदर पहुंचे हुए हैं। यहाँ पे औचक निरीक्षण कर रहे हैं, फायर सेफ्टी का देख रहे हैं। मैं तस्वीरें दिखा रहा हूँ होटल के अंदर किस तरह से यहाँ पे बीएमसी कर्मचारी और फायर ब्रिगेड डिपार्टमेंट के लोग पहुंचे हुए हैं। आप लोग क्या देख रहे हैं होटल के अंदर, क्या जाँच कर रहे हैं?
होटल के अंदर जो फायर फाइटिंग सिस्टम लगा हुआ है वो वर्किंग कंडीशन में है या नहीं है, वो हम यहाँ पे चेक कर रहे हैं। वैसे जो होटल के एंट्री एग्जिट पॉइंट्स है वो ब्लॉक है या ओपन है, अनऑब्स्ट्रक्टेड है, वो चेक कर रहे हैं।
जिस तरह से गोवा में अग्निकांड हुआ, कहीं कहीं उसके बाद एक्शन में आए।
गोवा का जो अग्निकांड हुआ उसके बाद यहाँ पे कुछ ऐसा हादसा ना हो, उसके लिए बीएमसी की तरफ से ये पूरा 31 तक इंस्पेक्शन ड्राइव चल रहा है हर एक वार्ड में।
अच्छा, क्या मिला अभी तक आपको यहाँ पे?
अभी चेक कर रहे हैं, जिस मतलब जहाँ पे फायर सेफ्टी नॉर्म्स सब ठीक तरह से, उनको तो कुछ नहीं, लेकिन जहाँ पे अगर कुछ इशू आते हैं तो उनको वो हिसाब से नोटिस वगैरह दिया जा रहा है।
ये देख सकते हैं बीएमसी का ऑफिसर है, आपने यहाँ पे देखा, जांच किया, क्या मिला आपको?
नहीं, अभी तो जांच चालू है। अगर पाया जाता है कुछ फायर ऑफिसर को या फिर किसी ऑफिसर को तो अकॉर्डिंगली उस सेक्शन के अंडर नोटिस इशू होता है। अभी फिलहाल अभी तक तो कुछ वायलेशन पाया नहीं गया है।
अच्छा, कौन कौन साथ में है आपके?
फायर डिपार्टमेंट, CFO डिपार्टमेंट के सोनोनी साहब है, बिल्डिंग डिपार्टमेंट के हमारे ऑफिसर है, इंक्रोचमेंट डिपार्टमेंट है, मैं खुद हेल्थ डिपार्टमेंट से हूँ। ये सब का फायर कंप्लाइंस सेल है बीएमसी की तरफ, हर वार्ड का एक सेल है। वो सेट जॉइंटली विजिट करके अगर कुछ सीरियस चीज़ें पाई जाती है तो उसके अकॉर्डिंगली एक्शन लेता है।
किस तरह आप देख रहे हैं, किस तरह से आप देख रहे हैं यहाँ पे, किस तरह से जांच कर रहे हैं?
सब ऑफिसर अपना रोल निर्धारित कर रहा है। फायर सेफ्टी ऑफिसर, फायर सेफ्टी किसका एंट्री एग्जिट का इशू नहीं है। अगर इनके इमरजेंसी आते हैं तो कैसे इवैक्यूएट हो, ये फायर ऑफिसर देख रहे हैं। बिल्डिंग ऑफिसर उनके अगर स्ट्रक्चर में कुछ चेंजेस होता है और उसके वजह से कुछ की जान की वो देख रहे हैं। और हेल्थ डिपार्टमेंट अपना क्लीनलीनेस और बाकी पार्ट देख रहे हैं।
अच्छा, ये तस्वीरें दिखा रहा हूँ किस तरह से होटल में यहाँ पे बीएमसी कर्मचारी यहाँ पर अंदर जा रहे हैं और यहाँ पर जो फायर सेफ्टी का जो भी लगा है यहाँ पे जांच किया जा रहा है। तस्वीरें में दिखा रहा हूँ किस तरह से यहाँ पे किचन में, होटल के किचन में यहाँ पे बीएमसी कर्मचारी, फायर ब्रिगेड के कर्मचारी और पहुंचे हुए हैं। और जिस तरह से गोवा में अग्निकांड हुआ उसके बाद कहीं कहीं यहाँ पर मुंबई में बीएमसी कर्मचारी और फायर ब्रिगेड के कर्मचारी कहीं कहीं एक्शन मोड में है। और जिस तरह से यहाँ पे तस्वीरें में दिखा रहा हूँ किस तरह से यहाँ पे हैं, आप यहाँ पहुंचे हुए हैं, किस तरह से यहाँ पे जांच कर रहे हैं?
हम बिल्डिंग फैक्ट्री डिपार्टमेंट से हैं। हम एक हिस्सा है इनका, और हम लोग एनी वायलेशंस, अगर बिल्डिंग अप्रूवल्स प्लान में वायलेशंस, डेविएशन होते तो वो हम लोग चेक करते, और अगर डेविएशंस होते तो हम लोग नोटिस निकाल के उनको करेक्ट करते।
अच्छा।
ये हमारा रोल है।
यहाँ पे अभी तक क्या देखा आपने?
नहीं, अभी तो जांच चल रही है। प्लान के हिसाब से, अप्रूवल प्लान के हिसाब से हम लोग सारा होटल चेक करेंगे, खास करके किचन एरिया, एंट्री एग्जिट पॉइंट्स, ये सब चेक करके फिर हम लोग हमारा रिपोर्ट्स हमारे अथॉरिटीज़, हायर अथॉरिटीज़ को देख करके फिर नोटिस अगर निकालेंगे, कोई डिविएशन होता है तो नोटिस निकालेंगे।
आगे भी एक्शन जारी रहेगा?
आगे एक्शन जारी रहेगा। ये 31 तक अपना एक्शन चलने वाला है। ये मुंबई की जनता की सुरक्षा के लिए ये सब चल रहा है।
अच्छा, देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ पे बीएमसी कर्मचारी, फायर ब्रिगेड कर्मचारी यहाँ पे होटल के किचन में आए हुए हैं और यहाँ पर देख रहे हैं कि जो फायर के यहाँ पे सामान लगाए गए हैं और जांच कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि जिस तरह से गोवा में अग्निकांड हुआ उसी तरह से मुंबई में ना हो, इसीलिए यहाँ पर बीएमसी, फायर ब्रिगेड के अलावा अन्य डिपार्टमेंट कर्मचारी यहाँ पे औचक निरीक्षण के लिए पहुंचे हुए हैं।
Coming up after a short break, we get you more details of Assam cops who've now submitted a charge sheet in the Zubeen Garg murder case. And the MOS-MEA says issue of detention of the Indian citizen has been taken up very strongly with Chinese side in both New Delhi and Beijing. Much more after a short break. Stay on with us.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो, मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है, सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
सर बचा के विक्रम राठौड़, कहीं फिर से ना भूल जाओ आप कौन हो। रुक, तेरे अग्नि अस्त्र की अभी मोमबत्ती बनाता हूँ।
प्लीज स्टॉप। झुमका तेरा झुमका, तेरा झुमका, तेरा झुमका।
नॉट देयर, मेरा काउंटर टॉप टूट जाएगा।
झुमका तेरा झुमका, तेरा झुमका, तेरा झुमका, तेरा झुमका।
मेरी चिमनी टूट जाएगी। व्हाट आर यू डूइंग?
अरे क्या हो तुम? रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी का एकदम सॉलिड।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी एमडीएच का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप, जीरा सिप एमडीएच का जल जीरा सिप, जीरा सिप एमडीएच का जल जीरा सिप।
I thought that we were very close with Russia to having a deal. I thought we were very close with Ukraine to having a deal. In fact, other than President Zelensky, his people loved the concept of the deal. We attend the meeting. We said, we'll attend the meeting if you think there's a good chance of they want me to attend. They want us to.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल,
बोलो जुबान केसरी। आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरी डे।
Madurai High Court grants permission for Hindus to fast and do a silent protest for 2 days.
Madurai bench of Madras High Court came down strongly on the Tamil Nadu government, accusing officials of deliberately ignoring its order on lighting the Gardigai Deepam lamp at the Madurais. There are lathis for the devotees. Hindus are lathi charged. Despite the court order, they are not allowed.
As opposition is now moving the impeachment motion, Deepam Rao reaches Parliament. BJP calls it an anti-Hindu move by opposition. "56 judges write a letter backing the Madras High Court judge as the opposition moves the impeachment motion against Justice Swaminathan." Assam cops submit charge sheet in Zubeen Garg death case. MOSMEA says issue of the detention. Assam cops have submitted the charge sheet in the Zubeen Garg death case. MOSMEA says issue of the detention of the Indian citizen has been taken up strongly with the Chinese side in both New Delhi and Beijing. Big update coming in from Madras High Court in the Deepam Rao. We are learning that this case has been adjourned for Monday before the big verdict. Let me go across to Sharda, who's joining us live. Sharda, give us more details.
Well, the Madurai High Court, the bench has been hearing multiple petitions and appeals taken today, which also includes a contempt of court done by the district collectorate and also the the Madurai city commissioner, the Tamil Nadu state police, who banned the people from going up the hill after the judgment was passed on the 3rd of December. Now, apart from that, multiple petitions and appeals were filed today to the bench. The division bench heard half of the petitions and appeals and also ordered that no more appeals can be taken because there were multiple petitions. More than 14 are also yet to be heard, and the case is now being adjourned for the day as the court is closing, and also the rest of the petitions will be heard on Monday, following which the judgment will be given. Apart from the 15th, which is the Monday, there is also the 17th, where the judge G.R. Swaminathan will himself appear after the bench has made a decision, and also will be questioning the collector and also the Tamil Nadu ADGP under whose control the law and order is. Plus, there is also the Chief Secretary that would be answering to the questions, because Judge G.R. Swaminathan 2 days ago mentioned that after the court passes the order, the district collectorate and the police have never gone across the court but always follows the order. But this time when it has happened, he mentioned that it is the higher authority who had given them the order to impose 144 in the city of Madurai and Thirupurakkundram. Now, apart from the case hearings, there's also multiple other appeals done and petitions run by the Hindu parties and other Hindu religions, which also includes a protest in the coming 2 days in Thirupurakkundram. Multiple associations, especially of the Hindu community, have come forward telling that though there is no exact proof that when was the lighting stopped at the top of the hill, the temple property has given information to Judge C.R. Swaminathan when he first went there to take a survey, telling that the Deepatun is part of the temple administration. And in the 1994 Act, when the temple had constructed a survey to make sure which is their land and which belongs to the Dargah, it was mentioned clearly that 33 cents of the hill alone is where the Dargah is, and the rest of the area belongs to the temple, and the hill belongs to the temple. And the administration mentions that the pillar is a Deepatun, and it was not a estimation built when the land survey was done, and also points that the pillar was used earlier, but later on when the British rule was under place, it was not in use, and that's what the petitions have been questioning constantly. And following that, now apart from that, multiple people from the Madurai and Thirupurakkundram hill are now moving forward to the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court, continuously giving petitions. One could be a protest, and also multiple other people telling that if it is not a customary practice done in the last 80 years, it is not wrong to put in a new custom, because all their request is to light a lamp on top of the hill every year just for 5 minutes, and that it would not disrupt any harmony among the Muslims and Hindus in the Thirupurakkundram hill. Apart from the multiple cases, which includes the legislations, the DMK is constantly opposing the petitions, saying that if it is not a customary and traditionary practice, why is it being brought into the hill issue and exactly during Kartikeya Deepam? And this brings into question whether there is a plan, whether every year when in Thirupurakkundram hill, because the Dargah and the temple is situated on the same hill, it constitutes to be the Ayodhya of South India. The problem being every December the Kartikeya Deepam arises, and on December 6th, it is the anniversary of Babri Masjid demolition, and to make sure there's no law and order issue coming in place is why they want to say. Back to the studio.
Yes, thank you for giving us that update. We are all going to see on Monday what happens with 14 more petitions to be heard in this case. Thank you, Sharda, for that. The Madurai Deepam controversy echoed in Parliament after BJP MP Anurag Thakur raised the issue in the Lok Sabha, urging the government to address concerns surrounding the dispute. Anurag Thakur said the matter has triggered tensions and political reactions in Tamil Nadu, calling for clarity and accountability from the state administration.
I want to raise a very important issue where one state in India has become a symbol of anti-Sanatan Dharma. Their ministers are making statements. against Sanatan Dharma. They objected when Prime Minister was doing his duty for the Ram temple. At that time, the temple doors were shut. People were forced to approach the court to reach the temple. Even now, sir, the Madurai bench of Madras High Court came down strongly on the Tamil Nadu government, accusing officials of deliberately ignoring its order on lighting the Kartikeya Deepam lamp at the Madurai Thirupurakkundram temple. Sir, there are lathis for the devotees. Hindus are lathi charged. Despite the court order, they are not allowed. Despite the court order, they are not allowed to light the lamp, sir. Sir, my issue is, if there is the Stalin Sarkar, their court came down heavily, they slammed the Stalin Sarkar. I would like to put it on record.
To your party
the
member
police
also.
is acting in this
I have
manner.
given an opportunity
Why the
to your
Hindus are
party
stopped?
member also.
Sir,
He was allowed to
Justice
raise.
G.R. Swaminathan did not mince words.
You can't
He
stop.
said the state
You
has
can't
shown
stop.
willful
Your member has
disobedience of
already
the
raised this
order.
issue. Now,
And contempt has been committed, sir.
If I have given a permission
Sir, the order has been breached, sir. Sir, the order has been breached. The contempt has been committed. Sir, the issue is today, while the Ram temple issue came, or the Kartikai Deepam lamp at the Madurai Thiruparan Kundram temple. Sir, why did not they allow the lighting of the...
Meanwhile, yesterday Amit Shah also spoke on the issue. The Congress has also spoken in it. Listen it.
कोई जज आजादी के इतने साल में नहीं हुआ है मान्यवर कि कोई जज एक जजमेंट दे तो जज के खिलाफ इंपीचमेंट लेकर आते हैं। अपनी वोट बैंक को एड्रेस करने के लिए इंपीचमेंट लेकर आते हैं मान्यवर। और ये सारे ने तो साइन कर दिया, साथ ही साथ उद्धव जी ने भी साइन कर दिया। उद्धव जी, जजमेंट क्या है? एक पहाड़ी पर मान्यता है कि हाँ सबसे ऊपर दिया जलाया जाए। मान्यवर, एक वोट बैंक को संभालने के लिए एक हाईकोर्ट के जज के सामने इंपीचमेंट लेकर आए हैं। देश की जनता उनको मदद नहीं करे।
The saddest part that a peaceful state like Tamil Nadu is they are planning to disturb the peace of Tamil Nadu. I represent a constituency of Virudhunagar and the assembly of Thiruparamkundram. We know how we exist cordially. These people has come with fire, lit the fire of peace. They want to burn the peace. RSS and its chief Mohan Bhagwat has done this kind of acts across India. They had burnt people, they had burnt houses, they had burnt villages, they had burnt cities. Now they are entering into Tamil Nadu, which will never be accepted in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu wants a peaceful coexistence. We are proud that we live in Thiruparamkundram.
The Madurai High Court has granted permission for Hindus to fast and conduct a silent protest for 2 days, demanding the right to light the Deepam at the hilltop Murugan temple. The decision comes after a long-standing dispute over the ritual, with the court previously ruling in favor of lighting the lamp at the Deepathun pillar, citing historical literary evidence. The protest is expected to be peaceful, with the organizers agreeing to carry out the demonstration at Palanganatham Junction instead of the temple premises to avoid inconvenience to devotees. Let me go across to Sharda, who's continuing to join us live from Madurai. Sharda, what are you picking up now around you? The protest is expected to be peaceful. You are in Madurai and you are closely monitoring this.
Well, the judge yesterday who heard the case ordered that not more than 50 people should do a protest, and also said that the group that is protesting should not target any one particular political party and aim their blame at them. And also today, hearing multiple petitions and appeals, one of the petitions submitted is asking for a silent fasting protest in Thiruparakundram Hill, but to make sure that there is no traffic or any congestion right outside the Thiruparakundram Murugan temple. They have allowed them to protest near the junction where the Thiruparakundram Hill starts, and also the entire temple area of the Thiruparakundram begins is where the silent protest is set to happen. The number of people that will be joining the protest is almost 200, and that is what the court is also ordered, telling that it should be a silent protest and that people should not make any inconvenience to the public during the protest. So it will be a 2-day fasting and a silent protest done by multiple Hindu groups come together, including the people of Thiruparakundram.
Thank you, Sharda, for giving us those details. We're also now looking at the top focus and news and headlines that is making and being heard across the nation. Police team in Raebareli district has apprehended 4 robbers accused of stealing money and mobile phones after a shootout. When culprits noticed the police team, they tried to flee, leading to a shootout between the two sides. They have been detained. Police recovered pistols and money from them. They are now in process of investigation. A man was shot in Delhi, Shadra, while he was riding a motorcycle with his worker. The victim has been identified as Yogendra Rathore. He was shot from behind. The victim is currently in stable condition, undergoing treatment. A probe has been launched. A massive fire broke out at Godown in Gujarat. Surat wooden items used in weddings were stored in Godown. About 50 fire personnel carried out the operation to control the fire. Fortunately, no casualties were reported. Revenue Department officials reached suspended Constable Alok Singh's residence as part of the ongoing investigation in the cough syrup syndicate case. The ED has issued a notice in Lucknow to the dismissed constable to appear on the 8th. Action was initiated after he failed to do so. Raids were conducted at several locations including Lucknow, Varanasi, Ranchi, Ahmedabad, Jaunpur and Saharanpur in connection with the case. Fire broke out in a bar of a hotel in Bhubaneswar. 7 fire tenders reached the spot. They began efforts to extinguish the fire. 4 teams, 30 officials are present at the spot. The cause of the fire could be a short circuit. There were no casualties reported. Utpal Parikar, son of former Goa Chief Minister Manohar Parikar, made serious allegations against the ruling party in Goa, government officers and police officials, claiming they're involved in the case and harassing Goa businesses. He has specifically mentioned that influential business people with connections at the centre are receiving benefits, citing the Luthra brothers as an example. Parikar demanded strict action against the Luthra brothers and the government officers involved, stating suspension is not enough. They should not be seen out in 5 months. Listen in.
A tragic fire incident that killed 25 people in Burj by Romeo Lane fire incident in the North Goa. To talk on this, because several multiple fissures were found in the permissions and licenses given out by the various departments. On the other hand, Luthra brothers, who are the alleged perpetrators, might be deported anytime soon. But it is very important how the trade license was given, why was fire NOC not in place, and several such questions are still lingering. To talk on this, we have with us former Chief Minister Manohar Parikar's son, Utpal Parikar sir. So please tell us about several allegations are being levelled right now on the various nightclubs, restaurants or bar, or it is being said that such fire permissions or fire NOCs are missing in several such businesses which are operating right now in the state of Goa. What do you have to say on that?
Yeah, first of all, let me express sympathies and condolences to the families. I was watching Arnab yesterday, Mrs. Joshi, one of the victims, she lost her husband and sister and 4 members of her family. But just giving sympathies and condolences is not enough. We have to give her justice because she has kids, her sister has 2 kids. The idea itself is I have a 4-year son. Hearing that itself was so upsetting. So we have to deliver justice. So Luthra brothers have been nabbed. That is a good thing government has done. But at the same time, I think the accountability has to be fixed at the local level also. What we have seen is many a times these people from like businessmen outside the state especially, they have links with some of the top government officials, IAS level, IPS level. I'm not saying everyone is involved. But Goa being small and having a lot of value for land and especially in Delhi, many people use that influence to circumvent, either make the local officials complicit or get them involved or get them scared into not acting. And this is what we have seen. And the tragedy has unfolded. But Goans know this is there at every other step. It's not just Burj. There are a lot of establishments like that which people have circumvented the local rules and law to run it illegally.
So do you agree with the allegations that has been levelled by the BJP leader himself on the ruling party, saying that right now operationally there are more than 50% nightclubs, restaurants or bars which might not be having fire NOC, which becomes a very serious allegation?
No, so what I am saying is the Chief Minister, who is the topmost law enforcement officer of the state, also because he is the Home Minister of the state, should ensure steps which will bring the confidence back in the government. One of them will be, like Luthra brothers most likely will be charged with complicit in homicide not amounting to murder. I am requesting the Chief Minister, charge those government officials also who have been suspended. Mere suspension or termination is not enough. Charge them under the same law. Make them pay, charge them what Luthra brothers will be charged with. So I will ask Arnab to take that up. Let the government charge the officials with the same charges, like culpable homicide not amounting to murder. All the 4 people or whoever is found guilty, not just suspend them or involve them in some court of inquiry or something. So by doing that and by taking strict action, you can bring the confidence back.
So here he is demanding that justice should be done to deceased and their families by applying the appropriate laws to all the perpetrators, not just Luthra brothers, but also the suspended officers. That's what his demand.
Especially because the officers are in position of power. Luthras did for maybe their greed, but officers are in position of power, so they should be charged with charges which are more than what Luthras are charged with.
They are serving people.
Yes, so I am asking Chief Minister specifically, do this step to bring back the confidence.
Sir, also there are various lapses at multiple levels. It is being asked, it is being questioned that how was trade license in first place issued to a place which was allegedly illegally constructed in the CRZ zone, that is coastal regulation zone. On the other hand, fire NOC was missing. There was only one entry and exit to entire construction. We have seen the videos. It was engulfed in the fire totally, and 23 people have succumbed to death when they went down in the kitchen area. So what do you think fallacies and loopholes are at several levels? What do you have to say?
Basically that itself is a proof of corruption. Now what more has to be said about that? It shows there is corruption at different levels. Maybe some circumnavigation, like one of the national channels was reporting that IPS and IAS have influenced earlier not to take action against when the panchayat didn't renew the license. Demolition was still not conducted. So there was some pressure from there. So the Chief Minister has to get back the grip on the administration and not allow such things. And to restore the confidence, one of the steps is to charge the culprit, even the officers, with the same or more severe crimes what Luthras will be charged with. That will.
Coming up after a short break, search operations are continuing, and we're also going to tell you that the search operations continuing for the second consecutive day along Indo-Pakistan international border in the Samba district as forces intensify the crackdown on suspected terror routes ahead of snowfall in upper reaches. Here's that report.
Security forces have launched a massive search operations in the Samba district where the forces are scanning the dense forested area. Here you will see that these forests that have grown thick vegetation, and now here the troops of the Special Operations Group, they are scanning and searching out everything. They are ensuring that these grown vegetations do not become a safe haven for the Pakistani terrorists or those who are trying to sneak into the Indian territory. And here on this side also you will see that the troops being inducted into every nook and corner. This is being done so that the operations can be advanced, and also the locations of the terrorists that could possibly be their hideout or their suspected locations, that can also be traced. I'll request Ashu to move that way, and you will see that they are also searching that very area, because that could act as one of the hideouts of the terrorists, or these grown vegetations could support the drone dropping as well. And also we have seen in the past also that the tunnel network threat that lies there, and these areas becomes really very conducive to dig out the tunnels, because what happens that in this grown vegetation no one is going to actually look for the tunnels. But this is the Special Operations Group of the Samba police that has launched an intensified operations here, because we are days to the snowfall to start in the upper reaches, and once the snowfall starts the threat goes manifold. Reason being that the upper reaches gets blocked completely, and what Pakistan is left, it is left with Jaish-e-Mohammed to infiltrate its terrorists into the Indian territory through this very area. And also you will see that these big grown bushes are also being thoroughly searched, so that this cannot be one of the hideouts or the places where the terrorists can actually take advantage. Because what happens that in the dead of the night, if someone comes and hides like this, it will be completely a cover that they can get. But they are decimating every attempt of the Pakistani terrorists, those who can get cover, that they want to ensure that the attempts that are being made regularly by the Pakistan, they are foiled. What has happened in the past also, that there have been large-scale infiltrations that have taken place in last couple of years from the Samba international border.
Coming up after a short break, Madurai High Court grants permission for Hindus to fast and do a silent protest for 2 days. Much more on that. And Deepam Rao reaches Parliament. BJP calls it an anti-Hindu move by opposition.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
सर बचा के विक्रम राठौड़, कहीं फिर से ना भूल जाओ आप कौन हो।
रुक, तेरे अग्नि अस्त्र की अभी मोमबत्ती बनाता हूँ।
Please stop!
झुमका तेरा झुमका तेरा झुमका तेरा झुमका
Not there. मेरा काउंटर टॉप टूट जाएगा.
झुमका तेरा झुमका तेरा झुमका तेरा झुमका तेरा झुमका
मेरी चिमनी टूट जाएगी. What are you doing?
अरे क्या हो तुम?
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा. रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना.
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात।
वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है?
अरे मेरे राजा,
राजा और मसाला। MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता, उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा, आर प्योर मसाला। MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च। From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Welcome to Republic. I'm Ridhim. Our top focus is going to be on the Deepam Rao and this political attempt by the parliamentarians to try and browbeat the judiciary. And we're not saying it, it's signatories to the letter that has now been written supporting the High Court judge, the Madras High Court judge, Justice Swaminathan, written by former Supreme Court and High Court judges, where they say that this move by the parliament that is there to try and impeach a judge only because they don't like the order that has been given by him is going to go down as condemnable. It is the unprecedented and the first time that impeachment proceedings are being used in this manner. They need to read the Constitution. First, a look at our top headlines. The Madurai High Court grants permission for Hindus to fast and do a silent protest for 2 days.
Madurai bench of Madras High Court came down strongly on the Tamil Nadu government, accusing officials of deliberately ignoring its order on lighting the Gardigai Deepam lamp at the Madurais. There are lathis for the devotees. Hindus are lathi charged. Despite the court order, they are not allowed.
Deepam Rao reaches Parliament. BJP calls it an anti-Hindu move by opposition. As opposition moves impeachment motion against Justice Swaminathan, 56 judges write a letter backing the Madras High Court judge. Assam cops have now submitted the charge sheet in the Zubeen Garg death case. MOSMEA says issue of the detention of the Indian citizen has been taken up strongly with Chinese side in both New Delhi and Beijing. Ajit Pawar's son Parth Pawar is embroiled in a land deal controversy with documents revealing that his firm Amaddeep Enterprise LLP was informed about the purchase just 6 days after registration. The deal involves 40 acres of government-owned land in Pune's Mundwa area valued at 1,800 crore rupees, which was sold for 300 crore rupees. The Maharashtra government, let me go across to Ram Mohan Naidu, Civil Aviation Minister, speaking in the Lok Sabha.
ये सभी लोगों ने यहाँ पे अपनी बात रखी. Unless it is connected to the masses of the country, you don't see that kind of emotion being spoken, both from the members this side and from the members that side. So that is an example that how deeply and inclusively, under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, the civil aviation is interconnected in this country. And I'll try to stick to the points that have been mentioned in the resolution, which I feel is also very important to address today. The first point is to initiate appropriate measures to regulate the airfare in such a way that there is a reasonable upper limit to the maximum fare that an airline can fix in a route. Madam, taking up this point, let me start by looking into the aspect of deregulation in the country. Some speakers have already spoken about it. The deregulation starts with Air Corporations, the regulation starts with Air Corporations Act of 1953. That was the time when they decided that the airfares need to be regulated. There was a committee which was there and which was looking into all the regulations and the capping of fares and deciding what the tariff should be. But then in 1994, it was decided that the aviation sector should be deregulated. And it was deregulated, that idea that came up, and then the Air Corporations Act was repealed in 1994. And the idea behind the deregulation at that time was to allow the sector to grow. Open sky was mentioned because there was so much demand and potential in the country, and considering the global way of how civil aviation was observed across the world, all the countries who have seen exceptional growth in their own country in civil aviation, they had deregulated markets. The deregulation of markets, one, lets the sector open up for many players to come in, and it also encourages competition at the same time. When you are saying deregulation, you are letting the market dynamics flow in, you are letting the market supply and demand play its own role, so that the ultimate benefit is got by the passenger who is taking the ultimate benefit. So it is with that idea in 94 itself, the deregulation has happened, and And from then we have seen that multiple airlines have come in and multiple challenges for airlines. Some have gone out and new airlines have come in. But the idea still remains that if the civil aviation network, the aviation sector, if it needs to grow, the first and foremost thing is to keep it deregulated so that the competition survives, more players can come in. Madam, and coming back to the whole deregulation aspect, even though I'm saying that the market is deregulated, let me also come to the fact that according to the Aircraft Act that we have right now, there is power with the central government that in extraordinary circumstances, when there is a possibility that there is a misuse of the air tariff deregulation that we have set up, then there is the power with the central government to interfere and set things right, to cap the fares so that the passenger does not experience opportunistic pricing at that point of time. And one of the examples for that, a good example there would be COVID. And you have seen how much of a challenge it has been during COVID for aviation on one side and also for the passengers because of the mismatch in the supply and demand at that time. And it is at that time the government decided to step in, and based on the timing, the time it takes to travel from point A to point B, certain categories were created, and according to the categories, the central government exclusively used its power to cap the fares, and it has done it. And not only at that time, that was not the only example of when the government has stepped in and looked after the passenger and looked after the airfares in the market. There is another example that I would like to give, which is of the Mahakumbh. We have seen that there was extraordinary demand for people across the country and outside the country also who wanted to go to Prayagraj at that time. And because of the sudden surge in demand and the capacity being same as what it was before, there was a huge rise in airfares at the time. So what the government did at that time was to cap the fares which were going to Prayagraj. That was the second instance. And the third instance, when we have seen in Pahalgam, when the attack happened at that time, and Srinagar, especially this is a different kind of situation where people were trying to come out of Srinagar. So it was at that time, again, to facilitate for the people and the passengers who were coming out, we observed that there was a necessity for government to interfere. We exclusively used the power and we have capped the fares again. While keeping the market deregulation intact, because the whole idea of open sky needs to be there for competition to survive, whenever it was necessary in those extraordinary circumstances, the government has used its power. And recently also we have seen during the Indigo crisis where there was a capacity constraint. There were many cancellations. There were many routes where the airlines was not able to operate, because of which there was a capacity constraint. So again, it was observed that if we don't interfere, there could be a rise in airfares. Immediately we have stepped in, we have released an order, and this time we have done the categories based on the distance, and clearly we have communicated to the airlines that there has to be a capping in airfares. I'm mentioning the point saying that because the government has the exclusive power in extraordinary circumstances when they feel that the airfares are rising above the normal and becoming abnormal, then we are taking up that step. Another initiative that we have taken. This ministry is continuously connected to the people and listens to the people, takes feedback from the people. And that has been the complete approach of this government, especially under the leadership of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. Alliance Air, still a government entity. It is running ATRs across the country. It is especially running the most important routes in the Northeast area and also many different destinations where it might not be viable for different players to come in. Government has taken it upon itself to run those routes so that the people in those areas also get connectivity. The new initiative, the new experiment we have started, this was very recently in October we have started with Alliance Air, was Fare Se Fursat. We wanted to see, because there is a lot of discussion on capping of fares, let us see if we can cap the fares to a certain extent, what kind of benefit it is being given to the ultimate consumer or the passenger, and how is the viability of the airlines. So this special initiative that we have done, which is Fare Se Fursat, which is a pilot project for 3 months, Alliance Air, more than 54 routes it is operating in the country. We have selected certain 25 routes where the demand is good, some where the viability not be good. So 25 routes across the country, both Northeast, South India, northern part of India, West, East. We have taken up all operations, 25 routes we have earmarked. And in these 25 routes, we have fixed up the fare for that route. And now, in these 3 months, it is still ongoing until December 31st, this Fare Se Fursat scheme is going on. And we want to observe. Now, if I have capped the fares, how is it benefiting the passenger is one? Because there are many other things which are involved. This is a not single-way solution that you are observing that the fares are up and you cap the fares or you make them limited to a certain extent, and the ultimate benefit is going to the passenger, because it is not just that one travel for that passenger. There is a sector here, there is the viability of the airlines, there is an airport that is operating. There are multiple levels in civil aviation for the passenger to go from point A to come out at point B. There are multiple different sectors which are continuously like a symphony working in tandem so that the passenger can go from one place to other. And it is important for us to ensure this whole tandem, the whole connectivity that is there in between, everything is viable in its operations. So that is why the Fare Se Fursat scheme is there. Government is very closely observing how the feedback on this, especially this scheme, and how the passengers are responding to it. So once that is done, definitely we are going to sit down, observe the feedback, and then if necessary, consider this with the private airlines also. And some other measures that we are doing, because this capacity constraint, usually, madam, if you see, I have statistics also to prove that when we are comparing the airfares of the country with airfares in different other places, especially internationally, the rate of growth that we have seen in the airfares is actually negative. In relative terms, in real terms, there has been 43% decrease in the airfares when you consider the consumer price index also. So if you compare with US or China, US it has decreased at 23%, China 34%, but India, the decrease has been up to 43% in relative terms when you compare with the consumer price index and the inflation also that has happened. So if you compare your own tariffs from previous years, previous decades, we have been maintaining a certain sort of level which is still affordable for the people. But in those terms also, when do you observe this airfares rise? It is not that every day they are rising, you see an increase in the fares. When these festive seasons are there, when there is a specific demand that originates in this location for most people to travel, and exactly the examples were also taken, Kerala during Onam, during Christmas, during that specific period, most of the people who are working in the Gulf area, they all want to come back and visit their families in that time. There is a specific season that you see that there is a huge capacity that is going to be there, and those are the routes, specific routes also you can see that this is where the airfares are rising because of the demand that originates. And then you see in the North India sometimes during the Durga Puja, the Calcutta routes are on a surge. During Diwali area, the whole northern sector that is on a rise. And also during Chhat Puja, whatever is going to Bihar, that is on a rise. These are all specific seasons. It is not that I can cap a fare for the entire season, entire year to a certain sector, because there are still, this is why market demand and market supply is very, very important for us to understand. They kind of play in such a way that they regulate the fares on its own. But when we observe, because we also know that there are seasons, because we also know there are capacity constraints in those seasons, we have reacted accordingly. When this Kerala situation observed, and after me becoming the minister also, this was exactly in September of 24, when the Kerala, the Gulf and the Kerala routes, when we observed that, see, what else can we do? What else can we do in this time so that we can facilitate for the people who want to travel and can keep the fares at a very adjustable price? Then we added capacity. We have spoken to the airlines well in advance. We have said this is a situation which is happening every year. Why don't we provide the more capacity in this region so that more people can travel? This is exactly what we have done in that time. More flights which were not operating or non-viable routes across the country, they were taken out. They were brought into this specific sector so that can create, that can facilitate for the demand that it was created. And on top of Onam, during this Kumbh Mela also, everyone wanted to travel to Prayagraj. So we have increased the flights that are going to Prayagraj. So not only capping the fare, but the capacity needs to be augmented. That is the real solution when you are seeing that the fares are rising. Because there is demand there. It is not that you want to send that single passenger in a very adjustable price. You want to send 10 passengers to that place during that specific time. So capacity augmentation is something which is very much required, and we have done that. Kerala during the Onam, and Diwali during Diwali also we have done recently in October 25, Prayagraj Kumbh Mela in Jan 25. So we have worked out this solution when we speak with the airlines before and consider the festive season and increase the capacity. And also, madam, we have to understand what goes into these airfares. I have talked about what some of the measures that we have taken, and also airfares is not a single entity. there are different charges that go into the airfare, and one of the most important one is the aircraft fuel. ATF goes up to 40%, 40 to 45% of the ticket price that you pay is because of the ATF. And the way ATF is there in the country, the state taxes the ATF. And there are multiple states who have brought it below 5%. We are very thankful to them. There are 26 states and union territories which have brought it down because they understand that even if you lose a small revenue in this taxation for the ATF, the kind of economic growth that it creates, the kind of growth aviation network creates for other industries is very, very important, and it is with that idea that it was being done. But there are some states which still have it at a very high percentage, and it is multiple times. Our predecessor Sindhya ji is also here. He has written and spoken on this many times and written to chief ministers, and I have also taken that responsibility. I have written to chief ministers whenever I get the opportunity to meet them. I have spoken to them on this very specific issue to please bring down the ATF, because if you bring it down, then definitely that also helps the passenger and the cost that it takes. And we have done it with Bihar also. Bihar used to have 29%, but in June 25, they have responded and they have brought in it below 4%. And there is one state, Tamil Nadu also, Manikamji is here. So I will take this opportunity through this discussion also to encourage the state government to bring it down as much as possible, not 4%, but bring it down to 1%, so that this benefit of the taxation also is being extended to the passenger at the end. And now this is the ATF. And when it comes to the DGCA measures, DGCA is also a very important regulator for us. It also looks after the safety. It also looked after the airlines and their operations. Now there is a tariff sheet which is being done by the airlines to see how are we going to charge. The tariff sheet mentions the minimum fare for a certain route, maximum fare for a certain route, and they have this bucket system where through buckets they see how many seats are going to be allocated at a certain price. Not many would be knowing about this, but whenever you go to the website and you purchase a ticket, there is a clear tariff sheet that is mentioned there. But here the airlines also used to be doing their own chalaki. What they used to do, tariff sheet, because according to the law, they have to do it prominently somewhere, they have to display the tariff sheet. But we were also doing our own monitoring. We were checking where is the tariff sheet. But we used to go to the web page, and it used to take ages to look at it, where the tariff sheet it is right at the bottom, and even the letters with which it was written was only, you can see it only if you use a binoculars. It was at that situation. Then we said this is not the purpose of through which the law has been kept. Then we have updated them. They have instructed them that whenever they open, the tariff sheet should be seen right in the front in big letters so that every passenger can see it. We have brought that change. We have monitored that change. Now the tariff sheet is thoroughly displayed. But not only tariff sheet. Now earlier there was the rule that the tariff sheet, there was a small clause which gave an advantage to the airlines that every day they can change the tariff sheet. ऐसा होगा तो कैसे होगा? आज का tariff sheet आज का बन रहा है, आज का टिकट हमने ले लिया, कल का tariff sheet कल का बन रहा है, तो again it's not serving the purpose. Then we changed the clause. Then we changed the rule that was giving that clause, that measure, and we said, you won't change it every day. You won't change it every 24 hours. You will only change it every month, so that once the passenger sees at the head of the month, first week of the month, they have to give us the tariff sheet saying in that sector, in this month, how much are you going to charge, how many bucket charges you have. So everything the passenger should know on what charges it will be there. So we have changed it to 1 month. That is also a facility that the passenger will have. I would encourage more passengers to look into this tariff sheet, to look at how the pricing is done, what is the minimum bucket, what is the maximum bucket. And this we have done it last year itself, and we have observing some changes because it improves the monitoring mechanism that we have on these airlines and their tariff sheets. And also on top of this, there is a tariff monitoring unit that we have created in DGCA. And the purpose of this specifically is to look into what the pricing is and how the airfares are fixed. Are they following the tariff sheet or not? Are there abnormal situations that are being created? So specifically just for tariffs, we have created a tariff monitoring unit, and it has been strengthened time and again through various measures. And earlier, when it started with around 50 routes. But now we have expanded to 78 routes. We are also taking international sectors also right now to understand where and how these tariff fares are being changed and how they are being done. And the tariff monitoring unit, which is going to be a very important unit for us to monitor these tariffs, we are bringing in more IT tools. We are bringing in more technology so that the power at the TMU increases and they can analyze the fares in a very tech-based manner using the IT tools also to analyze. So that is one thing that we have done, and we are also improving the capacity with which TMU works, not only in the routes that are being covered and also in the number of people that you are doing it. So this is one. And then the most important thing in civil aviation sector in the last 10 years, this is a success story that not only me, who's part of this government, can talk about. Everyone on both sides, all across this house, they can all speak about it, that the UDAN scheme was one of the most successful scheme, not only for the country, but for people across the world that we can showcase to. UDAN scheme has made democratized air travel in the country. The way we have brought inclusiveness in civil aviation is because of the UDAN scheme. The number of unserved and underserved airports in the country, there was a big number. And there was a challenge for us because there were these airlines who were looking at commercial interests. Naturally, the airlines would look at viable routes to function. And that is the most metro.
Civil Aviation Minister there saying airfare rising during festivals, but the decrease of airfare is 43%. In a significant breakthrough, 10 Maoists from Chhattisgarh's Sukma district surrendered with weapons carrying a collective bounty of 33 lakh rupees. The surrender took place in the presence of Bastar IG P. Sundaraj. We also saw others there who were present. And this surrender takes place as the Naxalite part of the Darbar division handed over arms, including the AK-47, 2 SLR and 1 BGL. According to IGP Sundaraj, the security forces committed to eradicating Maoism, ensuring peace and promoting development in the region. This is the big news that we are getting with the Maoist surrender in Sukma. This is fantastic news coming in, and also going with what the Union Home Minister Amit Shah had promised, that Bharat would be free of Maoism by 2026 March. We're also going to try and go across to Bharat, who's joining us live from Bijapur. And this is the big news that's coming in from there, where the Maoist surrender has happened in Sukma. 10 Maoists from Chhattisgarh Sukma district have surrendered with their weapons. We are seeing such news coming in from there often now, and this is good news to see. On December 12th, we saw this happen. That's today. A total of 263 Maoists have quit violence in the district this year, the Superintendent of Police had earlier said. Let me also tell you, viewers, that they collectively carried a reward of 33 lakh rupees, but they have surrendered. Let me go across to Bharat, who's now joining us from Bijapur. Bharat, the cadres जो लोग इन्होंने सरेंडर किया है, ये पुलिस के पूना मार्गेम इनिशिएटिव का एक हिस्सा थे, और अब इन 10 लोगों ने अपने हथियार भी सरेंडर किए हैं, और 33 लाख का रिवॉर्ड इनके सिर पे था, और सब ने अपने हथियारों के साथ सरेंडर किया है. कुछ बताइए हमें इस गवर्नमेंट के इनिशिएटिव के बारे में.
देखिए, बिल्कुल मैं आपको बता दूं, जिस इलाके से सरेंडर किए वो पूरा इलाका दरबा डिवीजन के अंतर्गत आता है और डीवीसीएम के पद पे काबिज है. बहुत से ऐसे माओवादी हैं जो बड़े बड़े घटनाओं पे शामिल रहे हैं. और जिस इलाके की अगर बात की जा रही है, बस आईजीपी सुंदरराज, उनकी मौजूदगी में इनामी राशि की अगर बात की जाए तो ये लगभग 30 से 33 लाख की इनामी राशि बताई जा रही है. और इनके समर्पण की अगर बात की जाए तो लगातार जिस तरीके से देश के गृह मंत्री का बस्तर दौरा था, इस दौरे में एक तरीके से माओवादियों का आत्मसमर्पण करना वाकई पुलिस को एक बड़ी सफलता की ओर देखी जा रही है. जी
बिल्कुल. और जो ये सरेंडर हुआ है, इन्होंने अपने हथियार भी दिए हैं. कहते हैं कि ये एक इनिशिएटिव था भारत सरकार का, जिसमें जो इनिशिएटिव है पूना मार्गेम, एक रिहैबिलिटेशन का भारत सरकार का ये एक इनिशिएटिव था इन लोगों के लिए. कुछ आप इसके बारे में बताइए कि कैसे ये लोग अपने हथियार और खुद सरेंडर कर रहे हैं. 243 माओइस्ट ने इस साल सरेंडर किया है.
मार्गम जो है सरकार की जो योजना के अंतर्गत एक नाम दिया गया है और एक टैगलाइन दिया गया है. इसमें यह कहा जाता है कि घर वापसी अभियान पे चल रहे हैं, संविधान के विपरीत चल रहे हैं. उन लोगों की जब घर वापसी होती है तो इसे मार्गम के तहत इनकी घर वापसी की जाती है. तो इनकी जो सरेंडर है, इनकी जो आत्मसमर्पण है, इससे पुलिस को एक बड़ी सफलता मिल रही है. वहीं अगर बात की जाए ये माओवादियों की, तो ये दरबा डिवीजन की माओवादियों का एक तरीके से हुकूमत वाला इलाका कहा जाता है। उस इलाके पे माओवादी
Gee, as Bharat said, this is good news as this is Ghar Vapsi for them. And thank you, Bharat, for giving us those details. Because we're also going to now slip into what's making headlines and news across the nation. BJP MP Anurag Thakur complained to Speaker Om Birla after a Trinamool Congress MP was allegedly using an e-cigarette inside the Lok Sabha chamber. Thakur says the act violates parliamentary rules, amounts to the use of banned substances and prohibited devices inside the house, calling it a cognizable offence and a breach of parliamentary decorum.
बिल्कुल सही अनुराग जी ने उस समय उठाया और एक तो ई सिगरेट बाहर में भी 2019 से प्रतिबंधित है और सदन के अंदर ये कोई सांसद पिए केवल सदन की गरिमा को ठेस नहीं लगा, उस राजनीतिक दल टीएमसी को भी, लेकिन वो तो बेहाया अपने ढंग से, कोई अंतर नहीं पड़ता है।
Sanitation workers hold a protest at Kamarajar Salai near Anna Memorial against the privatization of sanitation work in zones 5 and 6 of the Greater Chennai Corporation and demanding permanent employment. Police have detained the protesters. To improve safety in train operations, several measures have been taken by Indian Railways. As a consequence of various safety measures taken over the years, there has been a steep decline in the number of accidents. Train accidents have reduced from 135 in 2014 and 15 to 31 in 2024-25. Multiple schools in Amritsar received bomb threat via email. 10 to 12 schools have received the bomb threat. They've continued We're also being told by the ADCP2 that they conducted an anti-sabotage check in all the schools and there's nothing to worry. It was a hoax call. They're investigating it. The Directorate General of Civil Aviation has sacked 4 flight operation inspectors in connection with the Indigo flight cancellations. Coming up after a short break, Madurai High Court grants permission for Hindus to fast and do a silent protest for 2 days. And Deepam Rao reaches Parliament. BJP calls it an anti-Hindu move by opposition.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा,
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
I thought that we were very close with Russia to having a deal. I thought we were very close with Ukraine to having a deal. In fact, other than President Zelensky, his people loved the concept of the deal. We attend the meeting. We said, we'll attend the meeting if we think there's a good chance. If they want me to attend, they want us to attend. And we'll be attending the meeting on Saturday in Europe if we think there's a good chance. And we don't want to waste a lot of time. We think it's negative.
In a recent press briefing, US President Donald Trump stated that he would only attend ceasefire talks if he thinks there is a good chance of a truce.
I thought that we were very close with Russia to having a deal. I thought we were...
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
सर बचा के विक्रम राठौड़ कहीं फिर से ना भूल जाओ आप कौन हो।
रुक तेरे अग्नि अस्त्र की अभी मोमबत्ती बनाता हूँ।
प्लीज स्टॉप।
झुमका तेरा झुमका तेरा झुमका तेरा झुमका
नॉट देयर, मेरा काउंटर टॉप टूट जाएगा।
झुमका तेरा झुमका तेरा झुमका तेरा झुमका तेरा झुमका
मेरी चिमनी टूट जाएगी। What are you doing?
अरे क्या हो तुम?
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी का एकदम सॉलिड।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरी डे।
Thank you for joining us here on Republic TV, ladies and gentlemen. The Deepam controversy raised by Republic in the last few days and debated by Arnab Goswami last night is the biggest talking point across India, with the issue even being raised in Parliament, with parliamentarians asking whether Hindus can't even light a lamp anymore. Continues to be our focus. Here are the headlines. Deepam controversy comes up in the Madras High Court. The state government in Tamil Nadu challenges the tradition, asks for proof if the lamp was lit in that exact place where Hindus want it lit.
Madurai bench of Madras High Court came down strongly on the Tamil Nadu government, accusing officials of deliberately ignoring its order on lighting the Kartikai Deepam lamp at the Madurais. There are lathis for the devotees. Hindus are lathi charged. Despite the court order, they are not allowed.
Why can't Hindus even light a lamp? The parliament witnesses some intense debates and points being made on the issue of the Kartikai Deepam in Madurai. Former judges, 56 of them, come out in support. Justice Swaminathan said there is an attempt to browbeat the judiciary. Charge sheet filed in the Zubeen Garg murder case. Charges filed against his cousin as well. India takes up the detention case with China, asks why an Indian national from Arunachal was hounded, harassed by the Chinese officials. Okay. One of the big stories we're tracking today is a major infiltration plot which has been foiled along the India-Pakistan international border. A story broken by Republic as the BSF arrested a suspected terrorist. Pakistan has been on an overdrive to try and infiltrate, push terrorists into India. The BSF has achieved major success during a two-day-long operation. The arrested suspect was planning to facilitate the infiltration of a large Jaish-e-Mohammed terror group. The arrest being made along the international border in the Pragwal sector of Jammu district. There is also a suspicion that the arrested terror suspect was carrying Chinese-made weapons distributed among Pakistani terrorists. BSF has also launched today a large-scale search operation in the area where this terrorist and terror suspect was held in the Pragwal area of Jammu. Gursimran, my colleague, joining us with the details. Gursimran?
Yes, Niranjan, these are the photographs of this terrorist that has been arrested along with the weapon. This is a Chinese weapon that has been recovered. This is though this is an assault rifle, but this is a Chinese manufactured assault rifle that has been recovered along with the 10 live rounds. One magazine has also been recovered, and these live rounds are of 9 mm. So it is assumed that it is only the MP5 gun that has been recovered from his possession. This individual has been suspected terrorist, has been identified as Abdul Khalik, and he is a resident of Rajouri. That is what we are picking up. He has been missing since 2021, and it is believed that he might have exfiltrated to Pakistan, and while in a bid to come back to India, he has been apprehended. He was on a bid to get a group of Jaish-e-Mohammed along with him, but now that attempt stands foiled, and the intelligence agencies are questioning him. These photographs, this is once he was handed over to the Jammu and Kashmir police custody. This is that photograph, and second, the recovery that has been made. This is in possession of the BSF. The photographs that we are getting from our sources in the Border Security Force, that this is the one magazine, one MP5 prima facie it seems to be, because it is using the 9 mm rounds. 10 live rounds have also been recovered from his possession. Now the larger plot behind this is being looked into, Niranjan, because from the international border, as we have been reporting relentlessly, that Pakistan will try to foment trouble by pushing terrorists from this side only. Reason being that the upper passes are getting closed due to heavy snowfall that is taking place and is also expected to go further up. So it was very clear that an attempt will be made on the international border, but due to the alertness and the input that was generated by the intel wing of the Border Security Force, BSF has been able to apprehend this terrorist, and now recovery of the weapons also shows that he was here for a larger terror plot that now stands foiled, Niranjan.
Thank you for all that. Gursimran joining us with the details from Jammu. We have the Union Home Minister now speaking on Veer Savarkar at the national capital. In fact, he was in Andaman.
बैल के कोलू के अंदर लगकर तेल निकालने की यातनाएं दी थी, वहां पर भी सावरकर जी ने कील के उपयोग से पत्थरों पर साहित्य सृजन करने का काम किया। और मैं आज एक बात बताना चाहता हूं, साहित्य सृजन वो ही कर सकते हैं जिसका मन और आत्मा दो में से कुछ कुंठित न हो। दो जन्म टिप देने के बाद भी जिस व्यक्ति के अंदर भारत माता की प्रार्थना के लिए, भारत माता के यशोगान के लिए साहित्य सृजन करने की हिम्मत है, उससे बड़ा कोई देशभक्त हो ही नहीं सकता। और उनके संकल्प ने ही एक कठोर कालखंड पारित करने की हिम्मत दी। एक ही जेल में दो भाई रहने के बावजूद सालों तक एक दूसरे को देख नहीं पाए। कोई कल्पना कर सकता है? एक ही जेल में दो भाई रहने के बावजूद कई सालों तक एक दूसरे का सामना नहीं हुआ। कितने जुर्म उस वक्त किए गए होंगे, वो इससे हमें मिलता है। सांस्कृतिक राष्ट्रवाद का चिंतन, जिसके आधार पर आज की सरकार चल रही है नरेंद्र भाई के नेतृत्व में, वो उन्होंने ही इसकी नींव व्याख्या करने का काम किया था। मित्रों, ऐसी सामूहिक पहचान जो भारतीय उपमहाद्वीप के सांस्कृतिक मूल्यों, परंपराओं और इतिहास से उपजती है, इसको कई लोगों ने आगे बढ़ाने का काम किया। उसमें से सबसे प्रखर इसके उपासक वीर सावरकर थे। अंग्रेजों ने शिक्षा के माध्यम से हमारे देश पर हमेशा के लिए गुलामी का बोझ और गुलामी की मानसिकता थोपने का प्रयास किया था। इसीलिए 1857 के स्वतंत्र संग्राम को इन्होंने विप्लव का नाम दिया था। वीर सावरकर अकेले ऐसे व्यक्ति थे जिन्होंने सन 57 के स्वतंत्रता संग्राम को विप्लव की जगह स्वतंत्र संग्राम का नामाभिधम कर देश की सच्ची स्पिरिट को आगे बढ़ाया। और 1857 प्रथम स्वतंत्रता समर, ये पुस्तक देश के सभी पुस्तकों में एकमात्र पुस्तक ऐसी है जो प्रकाशित होने के पहले ही अंग्रेजों ने इसको बैन कर दी थी। कोई पुस्तक प्रकाशित भी नहीं हुई है, उसको प्रकाशित होने के पहले बैन करने का काम अंग्रेजों ने किया था। उस पर प्रतिबंध लगा दिया था। इसको छापना, पढ़ना, बांटना, सभी चीजों पर प्रतिबंध था। क्यों था? क्योंकि इसका टाइटल ही ऐसा था कि 1857 में जो हुआ था वो अंग्रेजों के प्रति विप्लव नहीं है, हमारा स्वातंत्र का अधिकार है। और इसके लिए अनेक हुतात्माओं ने जो बलिदान दिया वो पहला स्वतंत्र समर था। और रूढ़ियों के लिए भी उन्होंने बहुत सारे प्रयास किए कि हमारा देश रूढ़ियों से ऊपर उठे, रूढ़ियों को त्यागे। मित्रों, आज हम आजाद हुए हैं, लंबी यात्रा कर कर देश आज यहां पर पहुंचा है। नरेंद्र भाई के नेतृत्व में एक सरकार बनी है जो लगभग 12 साल से काम कर रही है। और जब देश के आजादी के 75 साल हुए तब नरेंद्र भाई ने एक आह्वान किया, देश के प्रधानमंत्री ने आह्वान किया है कि पंच प्रण के आधार पर हमारे देश की जनता ने हमारी शताब्दी तक, आजादी की शताब्दी तक जाना चाहिए। पंच प्रण में एक प्रण है गुलामी के कालखंड की सभी स्मृतियों को समाप्त कर कर नए विश्वास के साथ देश आगे बढ़े। और 15 अगस्त 2047 को एक ऐसे महान भारत की हम सब मिलकर रचना करें जो महान भारत समग्र विश्व के अंदर हर क्षेत्र में नंबर 1 पर हो। और मुझे पूरा विश्वास है आज ये आह्वान 140 करोड़ लोगों का संकल्प बना है। और एक व्यक्ति जब एक कदम चलता है तो एक कदम आगे बढ़ते हैं, परंतु एक ही दिशा में 140 करोड़ लोग आगे बढ़ते हैं।
Breaking news coming in, ladies and gentlemen. The Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma speaking on the Zubeen Garg investigation. The SIT, or the Special Investigation Team, framed a charge sheet. They filed it in court today. The Chief Minister saying the investigation has been done meticulously, saying more than 12,000 pages have been submitted in court along with documents, saying hoping the court gives justice in the case. We'll play out the soundbite of the Chief Minister. Himanta Biswa Sarma was speaking a few minutes back, but I want to go across straight up to Aniruddha. Aniruddha, murder charges also being filed in this particular case. Cousin of Zubeen Garg also being named. What was the role of each of these charge-sheeted people? People who knew Zubeen Garg, people who claimed to protect Zubeen Garg, people who worked with Zubeen Garg for all these years?
Yes, Niranjan, as the Chief Minister has already said that the charge sheet has been filed meticulously. We also spoke to the chief of the SIT, and Republic TV has also gotten some inside information as far as how the evidences have been put in front of the, the court. In this particular case, the evidences have been categorized. The first set of evidence that has been placed in front of the court is the medical evidences, the medical history of Zubeen Garg and the various restrictions which were imposed on Zubeen Garg by his doctors who had been treating him for over last many years. These all medical records have been put as evidence in order to, so the neglect, particularly on the negligence or the neglect that has been committed when it comes to Zubeen Garg by the accomplice and organizers. Apart from the medical evidences, another set of evidences which are also very crucial in this case that has been put in front of the CJM, that is the digital evidence.
Aniruddha, I have to interrupt you there because the Chief Minister is speaking, cutting across live.
Now, we have filed a search sheet with almost 12,000 pages of documents, along with the main search sheet, seizure, examination of witness, and it is a meticulously done exercise. Although we have taken documents from Singapore, but we have proved the case with our independent documents. Even if court says that no, Singapore documents is not admissible, we have filed a search sheet in a way that the documents collected in Assam itself is sufficient to prove the charges. So now, after a prolonged investigation and lot of hard labor, we have filed a charge sheet into the court. We have all respect for our judiciary. We know about their independence. We know about their impartiality. And we know the way judiciary always give a victim justice and fair play. So we hope that now it is over to the court. Definitely court will give us justice. From the government of Assam, our next two steps will be to approach Chief Justice of Guwahati High Court for a fast-track court, and second position will be to recruit a special public prosecutor for this purpose. However, all these will be started after the case is committed to the session judge, and session judge take cognizance of the case. So these are the steps which we have to now meticulously follow. Yes, the motive and criminal conspiracy has clearly been tracked, and it has been examined by Advocate General. It has been examined by our Director of Prosecution, and everyone is convinced that this is a case where conviction is possible. Rather, they are sure that prosecution will be able to get conviction.
Another high-profile SIT investigation charge is pending. What is government's take on this?
Which one?
The case related to the Ali Abhishek.
That our approach is different. On that, we are going to transfer the case to central agency. Once this issue is resolved and goes to a regular trial, by the end of this month or beginning of next month, we will be shared some documents with all of you. However, the matter will be sent to Central Investigation Agency for further investigation, because in a case where so much complexity is involved, only for Assam SIT it may not be possible to unearth completely, but whatever we have achieved or whatever we have unearthed, that is sufficient to draw a conclusion against the accused person.
Okay, so they're moving the court to fast-track the case. There is a lot of public pressure also on the Assam government, which is trying to fast-track this particular case. And a lot of sentiments around Zubeen Garg, very, very, very popular in Assam. And the Assam government moving the High Court to fast-track it. Ladies and gentlemen, a story broken by Republic this morning of Ajit Pawar's son, Parth Pawar. He continues to be embroiled in the land deal controversy. Now, Ajit Pawar may be hoping that the story dies down, the heat is off him, but documents with Republic are revealing that the firm Amadia Enterprises was informed about purchase just 6 days after registration. 6 days on, they got the nod. The deal involves 40 acres of government-owned land in Pune's Mundwa area, valued at almost 1,800 crore, which was sold for just 300 crore. The Maharashtra government has formed a committee to investigate the deal, and an FIR has been registered against several individuals, including Parth's business partner and a suspended tehsildar. But in this particular story, the documents show that despite what Pawar says and claims and what the state government claims, they claim that the deal was stopped midway, investigation was on, etc. But documents show that the deal was fast-tracked and government moved quickly to hand over the land at any cost to Parth Pawar's firm. We have letters with us. Meenakshi is also joining us live with the whistleblower in the case. Let's listen in.
कि ये पुणे लैंड स्कैम में डिप्टी चीफ मिनिस्टर बोलते हैं कोई डील नहीं हुआ, हमारे पास सेल डीड है, हमारे पास वो चिट्ठी है जहाँ पे बोटानिकल गार्डन लिख रहा है ऑफिशियल्स को, गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियल्स को, कि हमारे यहाँ पे इलीगल पोजीशन लेने लोग आ रहे हैं, इलीगल डील हुआ है। इसके बावजूद डिप्टी चीफ मिनिस्टर बोल रहे हैं कोई डील ही नहीं हुआ।
डिप्टी चीफ मिनिस्टर अजित पवार जी झूठ बोल रहे हैं। अगर डील नहीं हुआ है और ये सारे अधिकारी जो इस ज़मीन का कब्ज़ा देने पर तुले हुए थे मीडिया पर, तो किस बिना पर कर रहे थे? उनके पास सेल डीड था, उनके पास तहसीलदार का लेटर था, कलेक्टर ने ये जो बोटेनिकल गार्डन है उनके बिहाफ पर एक लेटर लिखा है कि इसकी इंक्वायरी करो। कलेक्टर को पता ये सब कुछ है, तो फिर डील कैसे नहीं हुआ? और डील नहीं हुआ तो ये क्या कागज़ का खेल खेल रहे थे? और ऐसे चलता है आईजीआर डिपार्टमेंट में कि अगर कोई डील नहीं होता, जिसकी कोई वैल्यू नहीं है, वो तो डील होता ही नहीं। फिर ट्रांजैक्शन मतलब ये जो 720 पन्ने का वो है क्या?
जो सेल डीड
है वो तो झूठ है। अगर ऐसे सेल डीड झूठे होते रहेंगे तो फिर बहुत सारे हो जाएंगे। ये कानून किस लिए? अगर अजित पवार ये बोल रहे तो अजित पवार अपने बेटे की गुनाह की कबूली दे रहे।
तो अभी ये पूरा सेल डीड को मुकर गए, मतलब ट्रांजैक्शन को मुकर गए। इसका मतलब ये हो सकता है क्या कि फ्री में ही ज़मीन, जो आम आदमी का ज़मीन है, वो हड़पने के लिए ट्राई किया था वो लोगों ने? ये तो
आम आदमी की ज़मीन हड़पने का ट्राई तो बिल्कुल किया था। उसमें 3 चीज़ें, जो तीनों चीज़ें क्राइम में आते। एक तो बिना पैसे के लेन देन के 340 एकड़ का ज़मीन का ट्रांजैक्शन किया गया। दूसरी बात ये हो सकती है कि इसका कैश दिया हो या लिया हो, वो भी इलीगल है। 300 करोड़ की कैश लिया तो भी इलीगल है। फिर अगर बार्टर हुआ है तो तेजवानी के साथ क्या डील हुआ, बिना वजह चाहिए, कोई सोशल वर्क नहीं है। ये ज़मीन की जायदाद की ये ट्रांजैक्शन हुआ है तो ये सोशल वर्क नहीं है। तो तीनों चीज़ें क्राइम की तरफ इशारा करते हैं और इसका कोई इन्वेस्टिगेशन इसलिए होने वाला नहीं है कि जो सारे जो अभी इन्वेस्टिगेट कर रहे हैं ये उन्हीं के लोग हैं जो इस क्राइम में शामिल थे, चाहे वो कलेक्टर हो या चाहे एसडीओ हो या तहसीलदार हो या अभी पुलिस वाले जो कर रहे हो। उनको देखिए, क्रिमिनल सामने घूम रहा है, सारी दुनिया बोल रही है, हाईकोर्ट बोल रहा है कि पार्थ पर एफआईआर क्यों नहीं हुआ, और सिर्फ इन लोगों को लगता है, जो इसमें शामिल है उनको लगता है कि पार्थ का कोई संबंध नहीं है। ऐसे अगर कोई भी करने लगा तो सारे जो महाराष्ट्र की सिस्टम है उसका सत्यानाश हो जाएगा।
आप जो बोल रहे हैं, आपके इस सूत्र में मैं बोल रही हूँ कि जहाँ पे पुलिस एफआईआर में पार्थ पवार का नाम नहीं रख रहा, जहाँ पे बुलाया जा रहा है लेकिन समन स्किप कर रहे दिग्विजय पटेल, वहाँ पे ईओडब्ल्यू पे भरोसा करना क्या सही है? ना कि ये जो लार्ज अमाउंट ऑफ कैश जो ट्रांजैक्शन हुआ है ऐसा सोचा जा रहा है, इसके लिए ईडी आना चाहिए।
देखिए, ये इन्वेस्टिगेशन महाराष्ट्र के किसी भी ऑफिसर के हाथों से पूरा नहीं होने वाला, क्योंकि महाराष्ट्र में या सारे हिंदुस्तान में एक ऐसा एक सिस्टम हो गया है कि जो भी दबंग राजनेता होते हैं वो अपने पुलिस अधिकारी, अपने एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव ऑफिसर्स, आप देखिए पुणे में भी कई सब 15-15, 20-20 साल से वो वही है। तो इनके हाथों से कुछ होने वाला नहीं है, क्योंकि ये इस जो कुछ भी हुआ है उसके वो पार्टी है, तो वो खुद की इंक्वायरी कैसे करेंगे? तो उनसे कुछ होने लगे। तो यहाँ कोई थर्ड पार्टी या तो जुडिशियल इंक्वायरी या ईडी की इंक्वायरी या सीबीआई इसमें ध्यान दे। और उसमें भी मुझे थोड़ा शक ऐसे होता है कि पुणे और सातारा ऐसी जगह कि यहाँ सारे हिंदुस्तान के बड़े बड़े लीडर्स और ऑफिसर्स की ज़मीनें है, डायरेक्टली या इनडायरेक्टली। तो ये पूरा इन्वेस्टिगेशन होने देंगे।
हमारा निर्वंश होता तो भी हम अखंड वंश कहलाते, क्योंकि देशभक्ति के इस दीप्तानल में हमने अपने स्वार्थ का दहन कर दिया है। मेरे लिए कुछ नहीं। ये जो उत्कट समर्पण है, उसके लिए आवश्यक उत्कट प्रेम है मातृभूमि के प्रति, उसके चलते जो तन्मयता आती है, इन सबका मिलाकर जो बनता है वो भक्ति है। सावरकर जी के चरित्र में सब मिलता है। जन्मजात प्रतिभावान थे, गायन, लेखन, नाटक, कविता, सब कुछ था उनके पास, वक्तृत्व था। उच्च विद्या विभूषित हो गए। उस समय बैरिस्टर बनना बड़ी बात थी, लेकिन यह सब कुछ देश के लिए। गुण सुमने मी वेची अली या भावे की तिने सुगंधा गावे। ये तरह तरह के गुण मैंने जो अर्जन किए अपने परिश्रम से, किस लिए? इन गुण पुष्पों की सुगंध मातृभूमि को मिले। अगर उसके उद्धार में ये काम नहीं आते तो विद्या का भार है, व्यर्थ है। जो कुछ कर रहे हैं वो उसी के लिए कर रहे हैं। और प्रचंड प्रतिभा, प्रचंड ज्ञान है। कर्म तो हम जानते ही है, बचपन से ही इतना सारा कर्म, भीम कर्म किया सावरकर जी ने, इतना कर्तृत्व, गगनचुंबी कर्तृत्व उनका। एक जीवन में आदमी ने क्या क्या करना है, अपने राष्ट्र की सर्वांगीण उन्नति के हेतु जो आज कर सकते हैं वो आज किया है, और जो आगे चल के हो सकता है करना चाहिए उसके बारे में चर्चा शुरू की है, उसके बारे में बताया है। स्वतंत्र भारत का संरक्षण कैसा हो, उसके लिए क्या करना, पहले से विचार बताए। चिंतन मनन में दूसरा विषय ही नहीं, और इसलिए विचार के साथ ही कर्तृत्व जुड़ता है। विचार सर्वांगीण है तो कर्तृत्व भी सर्वांगीण है। लेकिन इस ज्ञान और कर्म के साथ ये सतत चले, उपयोगी हो, इसलिए जो भक्ति आवश्यक रहती है वो भक्ति है, देशभक्ति। हम सावरकर जी का स्मरण करते हैं, पहली बात है उस देशभक्ति के लिए करते हैं। ये हमारे अपने देश में, हमारे अपने देश की ही भक्ति होनी चाहिए। यहां तेरे टुकड़े हो वाली भाषा होनी ही नहीं चाहिए। ये कैसे होता है हमारे होते हुए? पूरा भारत देश हम उसको एक मानकर, एक राष्ट्र मानकर चले हैं। संविधान भी अपना यही कहता है। तो इस भारत में छोटी छोटी बातों को लेकर आपस में अलगाव, टकराव कैसे होता है? हम कैसे सोचते हैं? सावरकर जी ने कभी ऐसा नहीं सोचा मैं महाराष्ट्र का हूं, मैं अमुक जाति का हूं। हमारे देशभक्तों ने हमेशा जो विचार किया वो सब किसी न किसी जाति में जन्मे थे, किसी न किसी प्रांत में रहने वाले थे, परंतु सबने सोचा पूरा भारत। स्वामी रामतीर्थ तो कहते थे कि मैं भारत हूं, मैं चलता हूं तब भारत चलता है।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो, मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है, सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
I thought that we were very close with Russia to having a deal. I thought we were very close with Ukraine to having a deal. In fact, other than President Zelensky, his people loved the concept of the deal. We attend the meeting. We said, we'll attend the meeting.
कर सकते हैं प्रयास पूर्वक, वहां करते कि नहीं? भाषा शुद्धि के लिए सावरकर जी ने काम किया। हमारे अपने घर में अपने बच्चों को अपनी मातृभाषा आती है कि नहीं आती है? बात सोचने की। अपनी परंपरा का देश काल परिस्थिति सुसंगत चित्र हमारे घर के जीवन में है कि नहीं है? सावरकर जी को तो जो रास्ता लेना पड़ा, देश पराधीन था, उस समय शस्त्राचार करना पड़ा, उसके लिए सारे खतरे उठाने पड़े, साहस करने पड़े, सब उन्होंने किया। आज तो वैसा कुछ करना पड़ने वाला नहीं, हमको कहीं जहाज से कूदना नहीं पड़ेगा सागर में।
छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा,
सबका राजा आरती और मसाला।
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching 6 Stories at 6 with me, Antara Gupta. And here are the top 6 stories that have set the agenda for the day. Starting with a single flame on a Madurai hilltop has triggered court battles, political protest, and an impeachment push against a High Court judge. Next up, a rupees 300 crore land deal in Pune now raises a bigger question. Why is Parth Pawar missing from an FIR when the documents tell a completely different story? And that's not all. Assam's biggest mystery deepens. The SIT files 3,500 pages, names 7 accused, and challenges the drowning version in the Zubeen Garg case. What really happened there? And of course, the end game of the Luthra brothers is near, viewers. Their run ends in Phuket, with deportation slated next and the Goa police gearing up to bring them back home. Meanwhile, in Karnataka, a fatal crash puts former Minister Revanna's son under the scanner, and yet again, a 24-year-old life has been crushed under a VVIP wheel. And last but not the least, viewers, after Cyclone Ditwa shreds Sri Lanka's lifelines, the Indian Army has come forward as the beacon of hope. Operation Sagar Bandhu is rebuilding roads, bridges, and lives. This is 6 at 6. Let's begin. Now, at the Tiruparankundaram hill in Madurai, the age-old tradition of lighting the Kartigaya Deepam has triggered a wave of court battles, political protest, and unprecedented pressure on the judiciary. Hindu groups, in fact, say that they are only asking for the right to continue to customary religious practice. But the state government has questioned whether the ancient lamp pillar even existed historically. And in the middle of this standoff is a Madras High Court judge who ruled in favor of the devotees and now faces an impeachment motion signed by over 100 MPs. This is the story of Deepam dispute, the legal flashpoints, the political fault lines, and what this battle over a single flame really signifies. Take a look.
For years, the Tiruparakundam hill in Tamil Nadu has been a site of complete faith and devotion. But the calm broke apart after Hindu groups demanded the right to light the Kartigaya Deepam lamp at the hilltop, a community rallying for the lights. Earlier today, the Madurai High Court granted permission for Hindus to fast and do a silent protest for 2 days, demanding the right to light the Deepam at the hilltop Murugan temple. The point of contention that arose in court was over the existence of the Deepathun, the ancient stone lamp pillar. The Tamil AG argued that the dispute raises a fundamental legal question, whether the site referred to as Deepathun even exists. While the petitioner, answering the government argument, noted that Deepathun is part of the temple's historically owned land and lighting a lamp is a symbolic religious act. Settling the plea, the two-bench judge ruled that no further intervention petitions will be accepted in the issue of lighting lamps at the Deepathun.
Fighting the case against Judge G.R. Swaminathan, the lawyer imposed by the government continues to state that they never had the permission to light the lamp on the Deepathun for the past 73 years and there was no proof saying that the Deepathun is part of the temple. While in case the petitioner is constantly pointing out that the temple papers prove that the Deepathun is part of the temple property and it was used before the Second World War. It was just that the practice was stopped and that they cannot continue to do that because right now the lamp that is being lit is in the place where the Moksha lamp is lit for the people who have passed away, and it is for people who have died, and that it does not pay respects to God but only pay respects for the dead, and it does not clean out whether the God can be placed in the same place where the Moksha lamp is lit, and that's the reason they want to light the lamp in the Deepathun and that they have been fighting for it for ages, and this is the first time that the judge has come in favor of them.
At the center of controversy, the temple dispute began after Justice Swaminathan of the Madras High Court had passed an order allowing devotees to light the lamp. A judgment that was passed in favor of Hindus invited backlash and an impeachment motion introduced in Lok Sabha by as many as over 100 MPs. From the DMK to the AIM to the Congress to the Samajwadi Party, the opposition unitedly rallied against an order favoring Hindus. And now, 56 judges have signed a petition backing Justice Swaminathan.
India Alliance signed out telling an impeachment against the Madras High Court Judge G.R. Swaminathan. Now, 56 judges have come in support, telling that they support Judge G.R. Swaminathan's and also his judgment. And there's a form that's been submitted by all 56 judges saying that they are in favor of Justice G.R. Swaminathan and they agree that his rule for this Tirupurakuram has been right. And this form also has lawyers and advocates and also Supreme Court judges and the Madras High Court judges supporting Judge G.R. Swaminathan. And however, the DMK and the India Alliance still stand strong on telling that they want impeachment against Judge G.R. Swaminathan.
What is appalling is how the opposition flocked to have the judge removed, the same lobby who quote-unquote fight for fundamental rights.
Thiruparankundaram temple, sir, there are lathis for the devotees. Hindus are lathi charged. Despite the court order, they are not allowed. Despite the court order, they are not allowed to light the lamp, sir. Sir, my issue is, if there is the Stalin Sarkar, their court came down heavily, they slammed the Stalin Sarkar.
I have given
I would like to put it on record.
To your party
Why the
member
police
also.
is acting in this
I have
manner?
given an opportunity
Why the
to your
Hindus are
party member
stopped?
also.
As the legal political storm intensifies, the question at the heart of the Deepam dispute remains unchanged. Can a centuries-old religious tradition be curtailed by administrative doubt?
Now, the Bombay High Court sharply criticized Pune police in the 300 crore Pune land deal case, questioning why Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar's son is not named in the FIR, even as others faced arrest. Now, this comes as documents reveal unusually fast approvals and officials' actions favoring Parth Pawar's firm in acquiring the government-owned land in Mundwa. Now, documents confirm Parth Pawar's son tried to take over the government plot. Here's the full story.
A fresh trail of documents in the Mundwa land deal case has blown the lid off for the Pawars and brought the spotlight back on the man who has not been named, Parth Pawar. An official letter has come to light which confirms the Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar's son had tried to take over the government plot at Mundwa. The letter pointed out that the government officials had asked the Botanical Survey of India to vacate the controversial plot of land, which was purchased by Amedia Enterprises. The document indicates that the officials from the Maharashtra government had tried to facilitate the land transfer to Parth Pawar. Moreover, a letter has also surfaced which states that the Botanical Survey of India claimed that Amedia Enterprises has been trying to take possession of the land coercively and sought urgent intervention.
Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Ajit Pawar, said no land deal ever took place in the Pune land scam case. But Republic has accessed 72 pages sale deed and a letter which was sent by Botanical Survey of India, raising serious concern about illegal possession and illegal sale. What about their 72 pages sale deed if there is no deal happened in Pune land scam case? And in the sale deed, it's clearly mentioned that Amedia Enterprise has purchased that land. So, the both partners of Amedia Enterprise, Parth Pawar and Digvijay Patil, are equally responsible for this deal.
As the investigation picks pace, the whistleblower has raised critical questions.
डिप्टी चीफ मिनिस्टर अजित पवार जी झूठ बोल रहे हैं। अगर डील नहीं हुआ है और ये सारे अधिकारी जो इस ज़मीन का आप कब्जा देने पर तुले हुए थे अमेरिया पर, तो किस बिना पर कर रहे थे? उनके पास सेल डीड था, उनके पास तहसीलदार का लेटर था, कलेक्टर ने ये जो बोटेनिकल गार्डन है उनके ये बिहाफ पर एक लेटर लिखा है कि इसकी इंक्वायरी करो। कलेक्टर को पता ये सब कुछ है, तो फिर डील कैसे नहीं हुआ? और डील नहीं हुआ तो ये क्या कागज़ का खेल रहे थे? और ऐसे चलता है आईजीआर डिपार्टमेंट में कि अगर कोई डील नहीं होता जिसकी कोई वैल्यू नहीं है वो तो डील होता ही नहीं। फिर के ट्रांजैक्शन मतलब ये जो 720 पन्ने का वो है क्या?
Under fire, the Fadnavis government was even pulled up by the Bombay High Court on sparing Parth Pawar's name in the land deal report. The bench had questioned if the Pune police were attempting to shield the state deputy chief minister's son. It started in May 2025. 40 acres of prime government land in Mundwa, worth up to rupees 1,800 crores, sold for just rupees 300 crores to Amedia Enterprises, that is Parth Pawar's firm. Documents exclusively broken by Republic had clearly shown how Parth Pawar had direct links with the company, his signature on the paper. The central question remains, why is he being protected?
Now, for over 3 months, Assam has waited for clarity in the death of music icon Zubeen Garg. Tonight, the SIT has submitted a massive 3,500-page charge sheet that could reshape the narrative. Now, what began as a September yacht outing in Singapore, officially ruled a drowning, has now taken a far more serious turn. The charge sheet names 7 people, details digital and financial trails, and points to possible direct roles in Zubeen's death. With trunks of evidence placed before the Guwahati court, the investigation has now moved into its sharpest phase yet. Was this a tragic accident, or was it something much darker? Here's what the SIT says and what the evidence now reveals. Take a look.
In a development that gripped Assam for over 3 months, the Special Investigation Team has finally submitted its charge sheet in the tragic death of cultural icon Zubeen Garg. It was in September that during a seemingly innocent yacht outing at Island organized by the Assam Association Singapore, tragedy struck. Zubeen lost consciousness while swimming, despite wearing a life jacket. Singapore authorities ruled it a drowning. His body was flown back to Guwahati, where a second post-mortem at Guwahati Medical College confirmed no poisoning, but suspicions lingered.
আমি কোনেও এই প্ৰস্তাৱৰ বিৰোধিতা নকৰি তাক পূৰ্ণ সমৰ্থন আগবঢ়াইছিলোঁ এই কাৰণে যে জুবিন গাৰ্গৰ মৃত্যু, জুবিন গাৰ্গৰ হত্যা অসমৰ বাবে এটা অপূৰণীয় ক্ষতি, আৰু এই ক্ষতিক হয়তো আমাৰ প্ৰজন্মই কেতিয়াও পূৰণ কৰিব নোৱাৰে।
Today, the SIT submitted a staggering 3,500-page charge sheet to Chief Judicial Magistrate Balaram Shetri in Guwahati.
The Assam police has filed its search sheet in the Zubeen Garg's death probe. The search sheet runs through over 3,500 pages, which has been placed before the Chief Judicial Magistrate of Kamrup Metro in Guwahati today. It may be mentioned that the Assam police is investigating the Zubeen Garg's death as an incident of murder that has taken place in foreign soil, and as per the legal provisions provided under the BNSS, the probe has been progressing.
Accompanied by trunks of evidence, it names 7 accused, all in judicial custody. The document accuses 4 to 5 of direct murder roles, backed by digital trails, financial records, and witness accounts. Zubeen's death isn't just a case, it's a wound on Assam's soul.
SIT का चार्जशीट हो गया है, लोगों को हत्या की गुस्सर में हम लोग अभियुक्त किया हूं। अभी आगे जाके न्यायालय में ये जो कानून का रास्ता से अभी आगे चलेगा। कोर्ट का ऊपर सब लोगों का सम्मान है।
From the decks of a Singapore yacht to the halls of Guwahati court, Zubeen Garg's story reminds us, icons fall, but the light endures. The SIT's charge sheet is a step towards truth, but the fight for justice continues. Was it a drowning accident or a chilling murder plot? The details will reveal.
Now, as the chase for the Luthra duo ended after being found in Phuket, they were transferred this morning to the Bangkok Immigration Office, where their deportation process is now set to escalate. Goa Police is now in coordination with the CBI and is all set to bring the duo back in India. Here's a report on what's all happened till now. Take a look.
Track, detain, and their deportation next. A transnational chase is nearing its conclusion. The Luthra brothers, Gaurav and Saurav Luthra, owners of the Birch nightclub in Goa, face deportation and a likely arrest. Early this morning, the Luthra brothers were taken from Phuket to Bangkok's immigration center. Back in India, a trial awaits the duo. The Luthras fled India and flew to Phuket under the excuse of work.
वहाँ का स्टाफ स्टार्टिंग से हमारे साथ बदतमीजी और रूड बिहेवियर और गलत तरीके से बात कर रहा था, बट हमने सोचा कि क्योंकि मतलब हमारी एज सच कोई गलती नहीं थी और हमें लगा कि यार कोई बात नहीं, अवॉइड करते हैं इस चीज़ को। इतने पे उसने उनका कॉलर पकड़ लिया और बदतमीज़ी और गलत तरीके से बात करना शुरू कर दी। और जब हमने उनको छुड़ाया, बोला कि सॉरी वगैरह बोला और वहाँ से निकलने की कोशिश की, तो उन्होंने अपने बाउंसर्स को बुला लिया, जो उनका 25 लोगों का बाउंसर का वो पूरा जो वहाँ सिक्योरिटी थी सबको बुला लिया और वो चेस करके हम पे हाथ उठाना शुरू कर दिया।
Day by day, the legal news tightens around all players.
Sir, एक statement, sir.
I am sad for what has happened. I'm not a dement. I am sad for what has happened, but I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
अजय गुप्ता क्या कहना चाहते हो? अजय गुप्ता. But sir, लेकिन आपकी लापरवाही से 25 लोगों की जान गई है. आप नहीं मानते हैं सर?
I am a sleeping partner. I have no role in operations.
Ironically, no owner is now ready to claim they actually own the club's day-to-day operations. But the court didn't find this argument based in reality. Official documents and receipts suggest Luthras were the owners. The duo that evaded accountability, now held in Bangkok, it's only a matter of time before they face trial.
Former Minister H.M. Revanna's son Shashank Revanna has now been linked to a fatal road accident that claimed the life of a 24-year-old. Police has now in fact confirmed that the vehicle, it belongs to the Revanna family. While several key details, including who was driving at the time, are still under investigation, this is yet another case of an innocent life being crushed under a VVIP wheel. Take a look.
In Karnataka's Ramnagara district, a tragic accident unfolded around 10:30 on Thursday night. A white SUV belonging to the Ravanna family, the family of former Minister H.M. Ravanna, crashed head-on into a bike while attempting to overtake another vehicle. The impact devastating. The young rider, a 24-year-old, was found in a severely mangled condition. His face carried multiple injuries, while SUV's front section was completely crushed. The victim, identified as Rajesh, succumbed to his injuries on the spot. While police continues inquiry, a notice has been issued to the Ravanna family. However, the identity of the person behind the wheel at the time of the crash is yet to be verified. With a detailed investigation underway, authorities maintain that the truth behind the fatal crash will be established soon.
Cyclone Ditwa has left Sri Lanka battered, with roads washed out, bridges collapsed and several regions cut off. In the middle of the crisis, India has now stepped in under its neighbourhood first policy. The Indian Army has launched Operation Sagar Bandhu, a focused mission to restore connectivity, reopen lifelines and support rescue efforts. An engineer task force of 48 personnel was airlifted to Sri Lanka on priority and has begun rebuilding critical infrastructure, from damaged roads to collapsed bridges. Their work has in fact helped reconnect isolated areas and move essential relief materials to thousands stranded. Local communities now say that the shelters built by Indian troops provided safety and medical support, especially when they needed it the most. Tonight, a look at how Operation Sagar Bandhu is helping Sri Lanka recover from one of its toughest moments. Take a look.
Cyclone Ditwa left a trail of destruction in Sri Lanka. Roads are washed away, bridges are damaged, and many areas are cut off.
Indian government or Indian army பெரிய உதவி செய்றாங்க. மற்ற வந்து அவங்க வந்து பெரிய ஹெல்ப்பாக எங்களுக்கு பெருசாக இருக்குது. எங்களுக்கு போக்குவரத்து நிறைய பாதிப்பு இருக்குது. பள்ளிக்கூடம் போகலாமல் இருக்குல்ல. அதனால மிக வேகமாக செய்கிறதால எங்கள் தொழிலுக்கு அங்கே இங்கே போகிறோம்.
In this tough situation, India reached out to help Sri Lanka under its neighbourhood first policy. The Indian Army quickly launched Operation Sagar Bandhu to help restore roads, bridges and connectivity and rescue thousands of those stranded.
In the line with the India's policy of the neighbourhood first, the Operation Sagar Bandhu was launched to provide the humanitarian assistance to our Sri Lankan brothers and sisters who were affected by the devastating cyclone Ditwa. As part of the Operation Sagar Bandhu, an engineer task force, and they were inducted on the war footing to provide engineering support primarily to restore the vital lines of communications and construct damaged bridges and roads. The team here is comprising of the various experts of bridging, surveying and watermanship, and also the team which has come here has the meticulous skill holders who can operate the heavy earth moving equipments, drones and unmanned vehicles which is required to provide the effective engineering support.
As a part of this operation, an engineer task force comprising of 48 personnel of the Indian Army was airlifted and inducted on a war footing to provide critical engineering support. These brave hearts reached Sri Lanka and provided urgent engineering support.
ETF is presently holding the 4 sets of the Bailey bridges that were airlifted in the C-17 aircraft of Indian Air Force. And these bridges were airlifted for the restoration of the lines of the communications. More bridges have also been marshalled and kept ready in India, which will be inducted as and when it is required. Also, here we are holding these sets of the pneumatic boats, OBMs, HESCO bags and the new generation equipments like heavy payload drones and remote control vehicles.
Trained to use heavy earth moving machines and rebuild damaged stretches of road, the task force restored vital lines of communication and constructed damaged roads and bridges that connect cut-off areas. This helped reopen key routes for the movement of relief material. The Sri Lankan locals thanked the Indian Army for their immense support.
Indian Army வந்து எங்களுக்கு சரியான முறையில் யுத்தத்தால் பாதிக்கப்பட்டுள்ள இடத்துக்கு சரியான முறையில் வந்து எங்களுக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுது. இது ஒரு விஷயம். இந்தியன் ஆர்மி வந்து எங்களுக்கு இவ்வளோ சப்போர்ட் பண்ணுறது பெருமைக்குரிய விஷயமாகுது.
The shelters built by the Indian Army helped save many families in Sri Lanka. The injured were given immediate medical treatment in these shelters.
First, I want to thank for India government and India Army helping for us this situation time. I came from here before 3 days. I have some problem for my stomach and head. I continue vomiting and my leg pain. Within 3 days now I got very good size.
From rescue and relief to building shelters and roads and bridges, Indian Army helped Sri Lanka in the difficult time.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we could pack in this episode of 6 Stories at 6. We'll be back with another power-packed episode, but it's time to slip into a short break. Don't go anywhere, because on the other side, Republic is live and breaking.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
In the India Today Best Universities Survey, India's #1 ranked universities in various streams are JNU Delhi, Amity University, AIMS Delhi, IIT Delhi, and National Law School Bengaluru.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा, राजा मसाला केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो तुम्हारा रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जलजीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जलजीरा जीरा सिप MDH का जलजीरा जीरा सिप।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो, मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
I thought that we were very close with Russia to having a deal. I thought we were very close with Ukraine to having a deal. In fact, other than President Zelensky, his people loved the concept of the deal. We attend the meeting. We said, we'll attend the meeting if we think there's a good chance. If they want me to attend, they want us to attend. And we'll be attending the meeting on Saturday in Europe if we think there's a good chance. And we don't want to waste a lot of time. We think it's negative.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
सर बचा के विक्रम राठौड़, कहीं फिर से ना भूल जाओ आप कौन हो। रुक तेरे अग्नि अस्त्र की, अभी मोमबत्ती बनाता हूँ।
Please stop! झुमका तेरा झुमका तेरा झुमका तेरा झुमका।
Not there. मेरा काउंटर टॉप टूट जाएगा।
झुमका तेरा झुमका तेरा झुमका तेरा झुमका तेरा झुमका।
मेरी चिमनी टूट जाएगी। What are you doing?
अरे क्या हो तुम? रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी का एकदम सॉलिड।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा,
राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
Lok Sabha erupts over Madurai temple ritual. Anurag Thakur accuses DMK of suppressing Hindu worship. DMK, meanwhile, in Madras High Court presents argument, asks if the tradition exists. "56 former judges signed petition supporting Justice Swaminathan, stating Parliament resorted to political browbeating." The SIT has submitted a massive 3,500-page charge sheet that could reshape the narrative of Zubeen's murder case.
And this breaking news that's coming in, Indigo CEO and officials leave from DGCA office after meeting with the DG. The meeting has lasted for over 2 hours. This was their second consecutive summons of Indigo officials by DGCA. Indigo is likely quizzed over operational failures, restoration of flights, and also revised flight schedules. This is the big news that we're being told at this time, that DGCA and Indigo CEO and officials have left from the DGCA office after meeting with the DG. This is over operational failures that we have seen. One of the 4 FOI suspended has been in. We've also been given details about the DGCA suspending 4 flight. Details also coming in right now that this was the second consecutive summons of Indigo officials by DGCA. Indigo is likely quizzed over operational failures. Let me go across to Shambhavi, who's joining us live on the story. Shambhavi, a few days earlier, you were reporting from the Indigo headquarters in Gurugram, where there was 24/7 monitoring being done of the flights. Second consecutive summons of Indigo officials. What could possibly have been the kind of questioning, quizzing of the operations that could have been done of the Indigo officials?
See,
See, likely the topics that were brought up in the meeting were regarding the operational failure. A. B would be what is their revised schedule, because DGCA has asked Indigo to file a revised, updated update every 15 days till their operations get back to normal. And even DGCA, after being slammed by the Delhi High Court, has taken several steps, be it suspending 4 flight operating officers, be it deploying a dedicated team at the Indigo headquarters to make sure that their everyday operations, day-to-day operations are being taken care of. And now even Indigo, in a new update, has appointed an external aviation expert to help figure out what was the root cause of this entire operational failure. Although Indigo has largely maintained that the main issue behind this entire Indigo crisis was the failure in making a proper roster and their failure to assess the number of employees or pilots which were needed in compliance with the phase 2 of the ATTL rule. So these are likely the topics which would have been brought up in the meeting, and this is the second time that the Indigo CEO was summoned by DGCA. We are yet to see what further actions are taken from the government and DGCA's end in regard to this Indigo fiasco. Back to you.
Thank you for giving us those details, Shambhavi. The other top focus is on the Dilip case, where the Kerala court has sentenced the main accused in the 2017 actress gang rape case and also 5 others who were convicted for the crime along with him to 20 years of rigorous imprisonment as punishment. The court heard the 6 convicts on the question of sentence today before ordering that they serve 20 years of rigorous imprisonment for the crime of gang rape. And the Ernakulam Principal District and Sessions Court Judge Hani Varghese on Friday cautioned the lawyers against publishing news reports distorting the court proceedings in the gang rape of the Kerala actress. The judge had pronounced the much-awaited verdict in the case in which Malayalam actor Dilip was also a key accused. The court acquitted Dilip but convicted the 6 others, including the first accused Pulsar Suni. The court has now given the quantum of sentencing, which is 20 years of rigorous imprisonment. I'm going to go across in Tiruvanturapuram to my colleague Sankar to give us more details. Sankar, Judge Varghese has remarked that there has to be strict compliance with judgments and guidelines in this case on reporting. She's also said that the female actor in 2017 had been at a film shoot location when she was abducted, sexually assaulted by a group of men in a moving vehicle, and therefore, even though they remained behind bars, she believes they deserve this punishment for gang rape. Give us more details.
Today, there was 2 hours of arguments on the punishment, on the sentences to be given to the accused who were found guilty by the Ernakulam Principal Sessions Court on Monday. The quantum of, after finding them guilty of the charges against them, the quantum of punishment was posted for hearing today, and the Principal Sessions Court heard the prosecution and the defense counsel for 2 hours before before pronouncing the final judgment. In the landmark judgment, the court, the judge Hani M. Varghese awarded a lifetime to all the 6 accused in the case and also imposed a fine of rupees 50,000 each for all the accused. In total, they have to shell a total of rupees 3 lakhs, and the court also ordered to pay rupees 5 lakhs to the victim as compensation. The district legal service authority was also directed to make sure that the fine amount which to be paid by the accused must be handed over to the victim in addition to the rupees 5 lakhs to be given. So the court, the prosecution, after hearing the verdict, claimed that the sentence which was awarded to them became very light, as the prosecution expected a lifetime as a verdict from the court, and said the prosecution informed the media that the prosecution will challenge the verdict in the High Court in the coming days. against the sentence by stating that there were some flaws in the way the verdict was pronounced because the accused pleaded before the court that their age, because all the accused are below 40 years, and they sought maximum leniency in punishment by considering their age and also their family backgrounds, because the accused pleaded that they have to take care of their aged parents and small children in their family, and giving them maximum punishment will affect their family badly. So considering all these facts, the court provided them a less lenient punishment by stating that the conspiracy part,
Yes.
part under section 120B of the accused, and the gang rape under section 360D of IPC were proven very clearly, as there are ample evidence accused. And so the accused were sent to, after the verdict, the accused were sent to the BU sub jail, and in the coming days there will be
That's
appeals
right,
against the
Sankar.
verdict also. Okay.
Thank you, Sankar, for giving us those details. The top focus that we'll track. We'll also tell our viewers that the top focus also. We're also going to tell you all the news and headlines that's making it across the nation. Police team in Raebareli district have apprehended 4 robbers accused of stealing money and mobile phones after a shootout. When culprits noticed the police team, they tried to flee, leading to a shootout between the two sides. They've been detained. Police recovered pistols and money from them. They're now in the process of investigation. A man was shot in Delhi, Shadra, while he was riding a motorcycle with his worker. The victim has been identified as Yogendra. He was shot from behind. Victim is currently in stable condition, undergoing treatment. A probe has been launched. A massive fire broke out at a godown in Gujarat. Surat wooden items used in weddings were stored in this godown. About 50 fire personnel carried out the operations to control fire. No casualties have been reported. Revenue Department officials reached suspended constable beg your pardon, Alok Singh's residence as part of the ongoing probe in the cough syrup syndicate case. The ED issued a notice to the dismissed constable who failed to appear. Raids have been conducted at several locations including Lucknow, Varanasi, Ranchi, Ahmedabad, Jaunpur and Saharanpur in Uttar Pradesh in connection with the case. Fire broke out in a bar of a hotel in Bhubaneswar. 7 fire tenders reached the spot, began efforts to extinguish the fire. 4 teams, 30 officials present at the spot. Cause of the fire could be a short circuit. There are no casualties reported. Breaking news coming in. There's an alert sounded at the India-Pakistan border. The India Border Security Force heightened security along the Indo-Pak border following the arrest of a suspected terrorist. We've also heard additional BSF troops have been deployed on multiple checkpoints. Sniffer dogs have been inducted into the operations to enhance security measures. This move comes after BSF had foiled an infiltration attempt in the Pragwal sector of Jammu district, arresting a Jaish-e-Mohammed associate. Here's a report that's filed by my colleague Gursimran.
An alert has been sounded all across the Indo-Pakistan international border after a major infiltration bid has been foiled by the Border Security Force. Right now we are reporting from the Pragwal sector, where you will see that Jammu and Kashmir police along with the Border Security Force, they are carrying out the intensified operations here, and what they are doing, they are scanning this entire stretch of the line of control as well as international border. Also the sniper dogs have also been inducted into the operations so that they can detect for the explosives as well as for the narcotics. politics, because this threat is a major threat. We have seen in the past also that these kind of threats have been imminent along the Indo-Pakistan international border, and now as we report from the ground zero, one thing is very clear, that BSF is in no mood to give adversary or the terrorists any chance to sneak in into the Indian territory, and that is why we are witnessing these large-scale operations being launched on the ground, and with these sniper dogs being inducted into the operation, and the troops of the border security force with the sophisticated weapons all around the international border. They are trying to ensure that every adversary's attempt is foiled. And now as we speak, we report from the Pragwal sector of the international border, where a Pakistani backed terrorist has been apprehended along with the Chinese-made rifle. Now the search operations continue and the security has been beefed up. With Ashu, Gursimran Singh for Republic Media Network.
Our top focus, viewers, the Madurai High Court has granted permission for Hindus to fast and also to conduct a silent protest for 2 days, demanding the right to light the Deepam at the Hilltop Murugan temple. This decision comes after a long-standing dispute over the ritual, with the court previously ruling in favor of the lighting the lamp at the Pathun pillar, citing historical and literary evidence. However, the protest is expected to be peaceful, with the organizers agreeing to carry out the demonstration at Palanganan Thumb Junction instead of the temple premises to avoid inconvenience to devotees.
Appeals preferred by government and HRNC against the judgment of single judge, Justice G.R. Swaminathan, came up before a bench comprising of Mr. Jayachandran, Justice Jayachandran and Justice K.K. Ramakrishnan. Today, P.S. Raman, Advocate General from Chennai, he came and appeared on behalf of government, and Mr. Masila Mani argued for the government. Then last at part around 4 o'clock, Mr. A.K. Sriram appeared for HRNC. He also argued. Everybody put forth their argument today, and it will, judges said it will continue even on Monday. Tuesday it will be our day and to reply for the submissions made by them.
The Madurai Deepam controversy also echoed in the parliament after BJP MP Anurag Thakur raised the issue in Lok Sabha, urging the government to address concerns surrounding the dispute. Anurag Thakur said the matter has triggered tensions and political reactions in Tamil Nadu, calling for clarity and accountability from the state administration.
I want to raise a very important issue where one state in India has become a symbol of anti-Sanatan Dharma. Their ministers are making statements. Against Sanatan Dharma. They objected when Prime Minister was doing his duty for the Ram temple. At that time, the temple doors were shut. People were forced to approach the court to reach the temple. Even now, sir, the Madurai bench of Madras High Court came down strongly on the Tamil Nadu government, accusing officials of deliberately ignoring its order on lighting the Kartikai Deepam lamp at the Madurai's Thiruparankundaram temple. Sir, there are lathis for the devotees. Hindus are lathi charged. Despite the court order, they are not allowed. Despite the court order, they are not allowed to light the lamp, sir. Sir, my issue is, if there is the Stalin Sarkar, their court came down heavily, they slammed the Stalin Sarkar. I would like to put it on record.
To your party
Why the
member
police
also.
is acting in this
I have
manner?
given an opportunity
Why the
to
Hindus
your
are
party
stopped?
member also.
Sir,
He was allowed to
Justice
raise.
G.R. Swaminathan did not mince words.
You can't
He
stop.
said the state
You
has
can't
shown
stop.
willful
Your member has
disobedience of
already
the
raised this
order.
issue. Now,
And contempt has been committed, sir.
If I have given a permission
Sir,
to
the order has been breached, sir. Sir, the order has been breached. The contempt has been committed. Sir, the issue is today, while the Ram temple issue came, or the Kartikai Deepam lamp at the Madurai Thiruparan Kundram temple. Sir, why did not they allow the lighting of the...
Meanwhile, yesterday Amit Shah, Home Minister, also spoke on the issue.
कोई जज आजादी के इतने साल में नहीं हुआ है मान्यवर कि कोई जज एक जजमेंट दे तो जज के खिलाफ इंपीचमेंट लेकर आते हैं। अपनी वोट बैंक को एड्रेस करने के लिए इंपीचमेंट लेकर आते हैं मान्यवर। और ये सारे ने तो साइन कर दिया, साथ ही साथ उद्धव जी ने भी साइन कर दिया। उद्धव जी, जजमेंट क्या है? एक पहाड़ी पर मान्यता है कि हाँ सबसे ऊपर दिया जलाया जाए। मान्यवर, ये वोट बैंक को संभालने के लिए एक हाईकोर्ट के जज के सामने इंपीचमेंट लेकर आए हैं। देश की जनता उनको मदद नहीं करे।
The saddest part that a peaceful state like Tamil Nadu is they are planning to disturb the peace of Tamil Nadu. I represent a constituency of Virudhunagar and the assembly of Thiruparamkundaram. We know how we exist cordially. These people has come with fire, all fire to fire, lit the fire of peace. They want to burn the peace. RSS and its chief Mohan Bhagwat has done this kind of acts across India. They had burnt people, they had burnt houses, they had burnt villages, they had burnt cities. Now they are entering into Tamil Nadu, which will never be accepted in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu wants a peaceful coexistence. We are proud that we live in Thiruparamkundaram. The saddest part that a peaceful state like Tamil Nadu is they are planning to disturb the peace of Tamil Nadu. I represent a constituency of Virudhunagar and the assembly of Thiruparamkundaram. We know how we exist cordially. These people has come with fire, all fire to fire, lit the fire of peace. They want to burn the peace. RSS and its chief Mohan Bhagwat.
The Bombay High Court sharply criticized Pune police in the 300 crore rupee Pune land deal case, questioning why Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar's son is not named in the FIR even as others face arrest. This comes as documents reveal unusually fast approvals and officials' actions favouring Parth Pawar's firm in acquiring government-owned land in Mundwa. Documents confirm Parth Pawar's son tried to take over government plot.
A fresh trail of documents in the Mundwa land deal case has blown the lid off for the Pawars and brought the spotlight back on the man who has not been named, Parth Pawar. An official letter has come to light which confirms the Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar's son had tried to take over the government plot at Mundwa. The letter pointed out that the government officials had asked the Botanical Survey of India to vacate the controversial plot of land, which was purchased by Amedia Enterprises. The document indicates that the officials from the Maharashtra government had tried to facilitate the land transfer to Parth Pawar. Moreover, a letter has also surfaced which states that the Botanical Survey of India claimed that Amedia Enterprises has been trying to take possession of the land coercively and sought urgent intervention.
Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra Ajit Pawar said no land deal ever took place in the Pune land scam case. But Republic has accessed 72 pages sale deed and a letter which was sent by Botanical Survey of India, raising serious concern about illegal possession and illegal sale. What about their 72 pages sale deed if there is no deal happened in Pune land scam case? And in the sale deed, it's clearly mentioned that Amedia Enterprise has purchased that land. So, the both partners of Amedia Enterprise, Parth Pawar and Digvijay Patil, are equally responsible for this deal.
As the investigation picks pace, the whistleblower has raised critical questions.
डिप्टी चीफ मिनिस्टर अजित पवार जी झूठ बोल रहे हैं। अगर डील नहीं हुआ है और ये सारे अधिकारी जो इस ज़मीन का कब्जा देने पर तुले हुए थे अमेरिया पर, तो किस बिना पर कर रहे थे? उनके पास सेल डीड था, उनके पास तहसीलदार का लेटर था, कलेक्टर ने ये जो बोटेनिकल गार्डन है उनके बिहाफ पर एक लेटर लिखा है कि इसकी इंक्वायरी करो, कलेक्टर को पता है सब कुछ है, तो फिर डील कैसे नहीं हुआ? और डील नहीं हुआ तो ये क्या कागज़ का खेल रहे थे? और ऐसे चलता है आईजीआर डिपार्टमेंट में कि अगर कोई डील नहीं होता जिसकी कोई वैल्यू नहीं है वो तो डील होता ही नहीं, फिर कोई ट्रांजैक्शन मतलब ये जो 720 पन्ने का वो है क्या?
Under fire, the Fadnavis government was even pulled up by the Bombay High Court on sparing Parth Pawar's name in the land deal report. The bench had questioned if the Pune police were attempting to shield the state deputy chief minister's son. It started in May 2025. 40 acres of prime government land in Mundwa, worth up to rupees 1,800 crores, sold for just rupees 300 crores to Media Enterprises, that is Parth Pawar's firm. Documents exclusively broken by Republic had clearly shown how Parth Pawar had direct links with the company, his signature on the paper. The central question remains, why is he being protected?
Coming up after a short break, Lok Sabha erupts over Madurai temple ritual. Anurag Thakur accuses DMK of suppressing Hindu worship. And 56 former judges signed petition supporting Justice Swaminathan, stating Parliament resorted to political browbeating.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
In the India Today Best Universities Survey, India's #1 ranked universities in various streams are JNU Delhi, Amity University, AIMS Delhi, IIT Delhi, and National Law School Bengaluru.
प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता, उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा, आर प्योर मसाला।
I thought that we were very close with Russia to having a deal. I thought we were very close with Ukraine to having a deal. In fact, other than President Zelensky, his people loved the concept of the deal. We attend the meeting. We said, we'll attend the meeting if we think there's a good chance of they.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
सर बचा के विक्रम राठौड़, कहीं फिर से ना भूल जाओ आप कौन हो। रुक तेरे अग्नि अस्त्र की, अभी मोमबत्ती बनाता हूँ।
Please stop! झुमका तेरा झुमका तेरा झुमका तेरा झुमका।
नॉट देयर, मेरा काउंटर टॉप टूट जाएगा।
झुमका तेरा झुमका तेरा झुमका तेरा झुमका तेरा झुमका।
मेरी चिमनी टूट जाएगी। What are you doing?
अरे क्या हो तुम?
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT का एकदम सॉलिड।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद बात है।
अरे मेरे राजा,
राजा आर मसाला
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च. From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Questions about Ajit Pawar's defense and questions about the Mahayuti itself. All this and much more in this edition of This is Exclusive, but up first let me take you through the headlines we're tracking at this hour. Republic accesses clincher documents, exposes Pawar's lies in saying there was no agreement signed. Lok Sabha erupts over Madurai temple ritual. BJP parliamentarian Anurag Thakur accuses DMK of suppressing Hindu worship. "56 former judges signed petitions supporting Justice Swaminathan in Madurai's Deepam Rao, stating Parliament resorted to political browbeating." The SIT has submitted a massive 3,500-page charge sheet on Zubeen Garg's case. His cousin and suspended police officer Sandeepan Garg charged with culpable homicide. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mahayuti in Maharashtra has essentially maintained that there is no scam to begin with. It's the land in Mundwa, valued about 1,800 crore rupees, sold off for just about 300 crore rupees. Stamp duty also has been waived. Tonight, we bring you the biggest breakthrough yet in the Pune Mundwa land scam. A scandal that has shaken Maharashtra's bureaucracy, drawn the scrutiny of the courts, and places the spotlight squarely on Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar's son, Parth Pawar. For months, the government has maintained that the 300 crore Mundwa land deal for a plot valued about 1,800 crore rupees was not final. For months, investigators have maintained that Parth Pawar is not named in the FIR. And for months, the Pawars have essentially dismissed the allegations of wrongdoing. But tonight, Republic breaks the clearest set of documents yet. Documents that show super fast movement inside the government, letters issued at unusual breakneck speed, officials directly instructing the Botanical Survey of India to vacate a prime government plot. The same plot that was purchased by Amedia Enterprises LLP, the company where Parth Pawar is a partner. Now, these documents directly contradict Ajit Pawar's public defense, exposes official facilitation, and raises a question the Bombay High Court itself has asked. Why is Parth Pawar's name missing from the entire investigation? And is the state machinery being used to shield the Deputy Chief Minister's son? Tonight, we lay out the full trail, every letter, every order, every contradiction. But first, take a look at this detailed report.
A fresh trail of documents in the Mundwa land deal scandal has blown the lid off the Pawars and brought the spotlight back on the one man not named in the FIR, Parth Pawar, son of Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar. This comes as investigators dig deeper into what has become one of Pune's biggest land scams, a 40-acre government plot at Mundwa, valued by officials at up to 1,800 crores, but registered as a 300 crore sale to Amedia Enterprise LLP, a firm where Parth is a partner. A deal now under the scanner of the Pune Police, Economic Offences Wing, the Registration Department and even the Bombay High Court. 5 new documents accessed by Republic show a stunning trail of official action and reaction. Just 6 days after the registration, government officers informed Amedia Enterprises of the plot purchase. Another official letter reveals that the Tehsildar wrote to the Botanical Survey of India in June 2025, asking them to vacate the land. The same land claimed by Amedia, the same land where Parth Pawar is a partner. The BSI in turn flagged that Amedia was attempting to take possession coercively, requesting urgent intervention from the government. These letters directly contradict Ajit Pawar's public claim that the deal was not final. The documents show state officials actively facilitating the transfer for his son's company. Meanwhile, the Pune EOW has made multiple arrests. Among those arrested, the power of attorney holder Sheetal Tejwani and local officials who allegedly enabled the undervalued registration. Investigators have publicly stated no banking trail has been found for the supposed 300 crore payment, raising suspicion of alternate channels. Suspended Tehsildar Suryakant Yole is accused of issuing irregular ownership orders that allowed the land to be transferred. But notably, Parth Pawar himself is not named in the FIR.
Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Ajit Pawar said no land deal ever took place in the Pune land scam case. But Republic has accessed 72 pages sale deed and a letter which was sent by Botanical Survey of India, raising serious concern about illegal possession and illegal sale. What about their 72 pages sale deed if there is no deal happened in Pune land scam case? And in the sale deed, it's clearly mentioned that Amedia Enterprise has purchased that land.
And this is where the whistleblower and activists continue to raise tough questions. Why do documentary trails point to Parth's involvement, yet his name remains missing from the police record?
डिप्टी चीफ मिनिस्टर अजीत पवार जी झूठ बोल रहे हैं। अगर डील नहीं हुआ है और ये सारे अधिकारी जो इस ज़मीन का आप कब्ज़ा देने पर तुले हुए थे अमेडिया पर, तो किस बिना पर कर रहे थे? उनके पास सेल डीड था, उनके पास तहसीलदार का लेटर था, कलेक्टर ने ये जो बोटेनिकल गार्डन है उनके बिहाफ पर एक लेटर लिखा है कि इसकी इंक्वायरी करो। कलेक्टर को पता ये सब कुछ है, तो फिर डील कैसे नहीं हुआ? और डील नहीं हुआ तो ये क्या कागज़ का खेल खेल रहे थे?
The controversy deepened when the Bombay High Court publicly questioned the Fadnavis government and the Pune police, asking whether they were shielding the Deputy CM's son by omitting his name from the FIR. The bench asked pointedly, why is Parth Pawar not named when the documents show his firm's actions? By May 2025, the stage was set. A 40-acre prime government parcel valued as high as 1800 crore rupees had been transferred for 300 crore rupees to Amedia Enterprises LLP. Republic's documents showed clear linkage, including Parth Pawar's signature on Amedia's company papers. From official clearance letters to instructions given to the Botanical Survey, to stamp duty violations, to missing money trails, the paper trail keeps circling back to one name the FIR leaves out. And the central question remains, why is Parth Pawar being protected? And how deep does the Mundhwa land scandal truly run?
Well, in fact, I want to first start with showing you when this matter was first reported. My colleague Meenakshi did actually question Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar. And even then, he had basically refused to give any straightforward answer, dodging Republic's questions as to why exactly will he not step aside till the time this inquiry is actually carried out. Forget about stepping aside. It turns out that the FIR that has been registered does not even make a mention of Parth Pawar. Maharashtra Chief Minister said that those who are questioning this do not even understand what an FIR essentially means. And that is the reason why Parth Pawar's name does not figure in that FIR. First, I want you to take a look at what the Deputy Chief Minister had to say when this first scam was reported.
अजित पवार सर, ये एमएडी एंटरप्राइज का जो एलएलपी है वो सरकारी ज़मीन कैसे, वो पॉलिटिकल इन्फ्लुएंस को काम पे लगाया गया क्या, मिसयूज़ किया गया? सर, आपके बेटे का नाम आ रहा है, आपका बेटा इस एमएडी एंटरप्राइज से जुड़े हुए हैं.
मी त्यामध्ये सोमवारी मी मुंबईला बोललो, मी पुण्याला बोललो, मी बारामतीला बोललो. आता ह्याबद्दलची चौकशी चालू आहे. चौकशी झाल्यावर आम्ही उत्तर देऊ.
ये पॉलिटिकल इन्फ्लुएंस का
चौकशी चालू आहे. चौकशी झाल्यानंतर बोलीन. सारखा तो विषय मला बोलायचं कारण नाही. मी आपल्या राज्याच्या राजधानीत बोललोय. माझ्या पुण्यामध्ये पालकमंत्री आहे म्हणून तिथं बोललोय.
पॉलिटिकल इन्फ्लुएंस काम पे नहीं आना क्या, मिसयूज नहीं किया गया पॉलिटिकल.
यामध्ये
आप उपमुख्यमंत्री है, आपके बेटे के ऊपर है.
Well, now let me show you what's the truth here. Documents that we have essentially accessed, these are documents of the company in which Parth Pawar has been linked. And what is it that it proves? Documents that we are going to show to you basically reveal Parth Pawar's firm informed of the purchase that has taken place. In fact, Parth Pawar's firm informed 6 days after the registration has actually taken place. It also goes on to show that government officials were actually asking Botanical Survey to vacate because this land that we are talking about was a land in possession of the Botanical Survey. The document that we have shows that they were asked to move out. Documents confirm that Parth Pawar's firm tried to take over the government plot. In fact, there was an attempt, as per the Botanical Survey of India, that people came and they wanted to take it away from them. Critical documents expose Ajit Pawar's claim that the deal wasn't really final, because that's what Ajit Pawar maintains. It contradicts Ajit Pawar's claim that shows government acted for Parth Pawar, because there was communication really going in from the Tehsildar to the Botanical Survey to tell them that there is an agreement that has already been signed. June 2025, Tehsildar basically sends a letter to Botanical Survey of a media deal. In fact, I'm going to show you the full frame of that particular letter. Tehsildar sent a letter to the Botanical Survey on the media deal. This is the letter of intent that it will be our responsibility to obtain all the statutory NOCs permissions that are required to carry out the proposed activities. Now, what are the proposed activities? I'm going to explain that to you in a while from now. Now, if you take a look at this LLP agreement, it makes a mention of Parth Pawar, where he stays, and he is the first party in this particular case. In fact, if you see in this document itself, you'll have Parth Pawar's signature here. So this is the letter of intent as far as this purchase agreement is concerned. Let's move on here. Interestingly, if you take a look at the second page of it, it says that 99% stakes is that of Parth Pawar. Interestingly, the person who holds only 1% stake in the company is the one who's now been called in for questioning. Let's take you through the entire timeline that will give you a sense of how it started. It was in May 20th, 2025 that the land deed was basically registered. Then 26th is when a media writes to Tehsildar about the purchase of land. That's the very next day. 9th of June, Tehsildar writes to Botanical Survey about the Amedia's purchase itself. So the purchase takes place by a private company, and the Tehsildar feels the need to actually inform here. On 16th of June, Botanical Survey raises concerns. Now, the concerns were basically about an attempt that was essentially made by a few people, unnamed people, who wanted to take over this land. 24th of June, the district collector steps in. 14th of June, Tehsildar Yevle was asked to submit a report. Now, what happens to the report is quite interesting because that's another part that we're going to also talk about. So you've seen the letter of intent, which makes it very clear that Parth Pawar basically holds this entire thing. It holds the entire stakes in the company. And today, Republic TV has basically accessed the clincher in Ajit Pawar's case here, because in the documents that we are going to show to you right now, and perhaps we are going to show you full frame in a short while from now, what really has happened. Documents that throw away Pawar's claim, his son's land deal claims that he has made. These documents directly contradict Ajit Pawar's public defense, exposes the official facilitation, raises a question that the Bombay High Court itself has asked. Now, if you take a look at this particular document, it talks about the intimation that goes to the Botanical Survey of India regarding Amedia Enterprises LLP. Now, if the content of this letter is about an agreement that has already been signed, and the rightful owner actually happens to be Amedia Enterprises. So here it's very clear that there is an agreement that has already taken place. Earlier today, my colleague Meenakshi had spoken to the whistleblower. We're going to play out the response from the whistleblower in a short while from now. But take a very close look at these very documents. This is the second document. In this document, it talks about the urgent intervention. Can we go to the second document, which is then the first one we will put out, which is the urgent intervention. Urgent intervention of whom? It is regarding the leased land at Mundwa Botanical Garden, Government of India, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Botanical Survey. Now, this is going in once again from the collector's office, and they are basically informing about the land deal that has already taken place. So it's very clear that there are communications stating that the agreement has already happened. My colleague Meenakshi is joining me on this broadcast. Meenakshi, from all of these documents, one thing becomes very clear, that there is a sale deed, there is information that is being provided to Botanical Survey, telling them that the agreement has already happened and this land has now been given to Amedia Enterprises. So agreement has already happened.
You are absolutely right, as you rightly mentioned, Shavan, that everything is in public now. Republic has accessed lots of documents, and